season passes the midway point in one of college football's most famous settings. A time to renew old friendships and share memories of great teams and times. The big chill feel of the Big House in Ann Arbor. With over 100,000 on hand, it's time for a Michigan Wolverine homecoming, number 100. The striking beauty of a Midwest autumn October day in Ann Arbor. It's the 17th ranked Michigan Wolverines against the Hoosiers of Indiana. Hi again, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler, and welcome to Homecoming in Ann Arbor. These fans don't know it yet, but soon they will know what's gone on in college football this afternoon in this conference. It's been a topsy-turvy year, and it hasn't stopped today. Because as you take a look at what has gone on, Minnesota has upset previously undefeated Ohio State 29-17, and it looks as though Purdue is going to do the same to Northwestern. Northwestern had not lost a game. Wisconsin, a winner over Michigan State. Illinois is beating Iowa. And now, Bob Reese, that means that the Michigan loss to Purdue, you can almost erase it. They've been trying to get over it all week. Lloyd Carr is probably the most upset he's ever been. He's had a tough week, but now they can put it behind him and say, hey, we're in it.
It was a tough week, probably the toughest week that Lloyd Carr and Michigan have had in a long time, but now they're back in it. There are several teams with only one loss in the conference. They're all back in the race, and if you're a kid playing football in a university in the Big Ten, you don't think national championships, you think win the Big Ten and go to the Rose Bowl. And now a lot of teams and a lot of kids are right back in it.
Michigan would still need some help, but they're very much in the thick of it now, and that makes today's game even bigger. Last year, 65 points put on the board between Indiana and Michigan, and at the very end came down to a final pass, a Hail Mary that was thrown by Antoine Randall, or they could have upset Michigan. They have thoughts of that today as they get set in the Big House against the Wolverines when we come back.
Briefcase.
Need new tires? Our 35,000-mile tires are 4 for just 99 bucks. Pep Boys, one more reason cars like us, people love us.
Have you noticed? There's a colorful new breed out there. It's a fast breed, a smarter breed of inkjet printer. But don't worry, they're easy to spot. And at $149, just as easy to catch. Xerox, just a smarter breed of inkjet printer, now available everywhere.
So what's on for today?
Boss wants you, me, and Charlie to take the new Silverado and move them bales.
Is that Charlie?
Chevy Silverado has the most powerful V8 of any 4x4 pickup.
Then we gotta water the herd.
300 horses make it more powerful.
If there's any daylight left, we'll take Norm up to see the ladies.
More powerful than Ford and Dodge. That's why it's the truck. Silverado from Chevy.
Well, guess that's enough for today.
Want to start a family?
Right now?
I just got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
Aflac. Well, if we get sick, our health insurance won't cover things like lost pay or other expenses. This does.
What's it called?
Aflac! I don't know.
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
At BASF, we don't make the bandage. We make it stick better. We don't make a lot of the products you buy. We make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF.
If you can't get fired up for a Michigan Wolverine homecoming, you can't get fired up. The 100th homecoming in Ann Arbor, and the Hoosiers of Indiana, the opposition. And you know, a little bounce in the Wolverine step by what's gone on around the Big Ten earlier this afternoon. Let's go down to the third man on our team, Lynn Swan. If you can hear us, Swanee?
I can hear you, Brad. Welcome to the sideline here at Michigan Stadium. You know, if you're looking for a key that's going to open up the door to this ball game, look no further than the offensive line of Michigan. It is a senior-led offensive line, especially that left side, and they can dominate. And if they dominate, the one man who knows how to take advantage of it, Anthony Thomas. The the A train, number 32. He only needs 149 yards to gain 1,000. The last 5 of the last 6 games, he's had 100 yards rushing. The linemen tell us that he knows what they're thinking at all times and knows how to take advantage. He can dominate a game. For my money, he is the best running back in the country that you have not heard of. He is absolutely phenomenal. He is consistent, he is durable, and he is strong. And if the line is blocking, the A train is running, and they're in the end zone, Brad.
All right, well, he's soon to become the 7th Michigan player to have back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Lloyd Carr, Bob and I talked about the strange week it's been after the 28-10 lead over Purdue a week ago, and then the collapse and the loss, and a lot of long faces around here, a lot of longer practices as well around here this week. And Cam Cameron on the other side, 12-26 in his 4th season at Indiana. And you can bet his allegiance is split up a little bit today because his wife Missy is back in Bloomington and awaiting the birth of their 4th child. And it was nip and tuck whether Cam was going to be here today to coach or not.
It was close last night. He was almost on a plane headed back to Bloomington.
Indiana won the toss and deferred, so Michigan will receive. And Walter Cross and Justin Fargas await the kick of Adam Brocker. And he's going to have to tee it up one more time. Beautiful day for football. For the most part, clear skies. The leaves have turned or are in the process of doing so. It's a gorgeous weekend in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Brocker's got it teed again. And here we go from the big house. Walter Cross at the goal line. Cross got an alley up the middle across the 20. Bursts across the 25. Out close to the 27-yard line. And that's where Drew Henson will take the controls for the Michigan Wolverines. Off to a great start. Basically, he's only played in 2.5 games. Those are his numbers this year.
It's his 3rd start of the year. He, as you said, he broke a foot earlier in the year. Played a lot the first 2 years, but he split time with Tom Brady. This year was supposed to be his year. Broke his foot early on, missed a couple games, and now he has come on and he is playing very well.
So Michigan will work from its own 26-yard line. Anthony Thomas will get the call on a quick opener. And it didn't open very far. About a yard, that's all. Devin Schaefer made the stop defensively. The Chile starting lineup. Here's the big uns up front, and Backus and Hutchinson. About 85 starts between those two All-American candidates. Brant Goodwin and Williams round out the front wall. Anthony Thomas will run behind for the most part. B.J. Askew, David Terrell, and Marquise Walker. Dangerous wideouts, and Bill Seymour is the tight end. 2nd down and 9 to start the ball game.
If there's a better offensive line in the country, Brad, I don't know where it is.
I don't either.
These guys are awfully good.
Bellamy comes out as a wide receiver to the near side. And the stretch play, cross hits the backfield, and down he goes at the original line of scrimmage. So the Indiana defense, the first 2 snaps have certainly done their job. Defensively up front, it's Barnett, Mandina, Jamil Frink will start in there for Dominique Smith, who's been suspended for 1 game, and Rasmussen, the other defensive end. Linebacking core, Justin Smith, 5 sacks to lead that crew. Genord is a new starter in there, and Schaefer, who just made the last play. And in the secondary, Stone, Bethel, Johnny Anderson, who'll take your head off if you give him a chance, and Sherrod Wallace, the other corner. And there's Johnny Anderson, and the Michigan coaches rave about the way he plays that safety position.
Mo Williams was injured on the play. The right tackle, I think he just got shook up. Maybe lost his helmet, had to come off for 1 play. Probably be going back in if they pick up a 1st down.
So it's a 3rd and 10 for Michigan on their opening march. 3 wide receivers for Henson from the shotgun. Plenty of time to throw. As a man open and missed him. Rasmussen with nice pressure. Marquise Walker couldn't get the catch, and it's 3 and out for Michigan.
Well, he had a man. In fact, he had David Terrell open down the field. You wouldn't think that on your first possession you'd have a home run shot deep down the middle. He had him.
So Epstein to punt, and that's Darren Graham back deep. Good return man and backup receiver. What a kick. Great punt. Graham backpedals and has to let it go. I think he lost it in the sun.
Yes, he did.
And they'll down it at the 6-yard line. He stayed with it as long as he could, and then he just bailed out.
Couldn't ask for anything better than that.
What a great kick. 69-yard punt. So Antoine Randall will come out, Indiana's career leader in total offense and averaging 271 of total yards per ball game.
Yeah,
the top marks
per game
in the Big Ten and the country. Can do a little bit of everything.
This is his 28th career start. He's been around for a long time, and a lot of charisma. And I'll tell you, this kid has a lot going for him.
It's fun just to be in the same room with him.
Upbeat.
Has to work from his own 7-yard line, though. Brian Lewis is the tailback. And he's going to get the call. Lewis up to about the 9, picked up a couple. And the Chili's offensive front wall. This group, none of these players played in the same position a year ago. Myler, Oakley, Osika was a tight end last year. Huafi and DeMar, the group up front. LeBron Williams, normally the starter. He didn't. You saw Lewis just carry. Hogan, the fullback. Dorsey and Gaddis are the wideouts. And Bobby Brandt is the tight end.
This offense is pretty good. It's ranked 8th in the nation in total offense.
You see Osika come up there and bend over. Those guys used to be throwing passes back and forth. It's a lot closer exchange now.
That's true.
2nd down and 8. Here's a little option on the pitch. Hit for a loss is Lewis. Nice play defensively by Todd Howard coming from the corner to make the force.
Expecting a lot of option today.
And here's a defensive front. The Chili's starting lineup for Michigan. Ramashek Bowman, Petrozello up front. Victor Hobson, they say, really coming on now. Brackens and Foot have been a little banged up, and Larry Stevens, the other linebacker.
True freshman Stevens.
And in the secondary, Whitley, Curry, Patman, and Todd Howard, who not only leads the team in interceptions, but he made that opening stop and force a 3rd down and 11. Quite 3 minutes in, and already a tough spot for the Hoosiers. Backed up at their own 5-yard line, 3rd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground, play it safe. Lewis broke a tackle, got out across the 10, but only to about the 11-yard line, and now Indiana's going to have to give it up.
That's a smart call. You don't want to fool around down deep in your own territory. First drive of the ball game, loud stadium. Cam Cameron calls all the plays offensively. Just punt it away and play defense.
So Ryan Hamry is going to be in his own end zone. We look from behind him. Bellamy waits at the 45-yard line. Should be great field position. They don't block the kick, and they don't. Nice kick under heavy pressure. Bellamy backpedals to the 46 of Michigan. Comes forward in a hurry and gets into Indiana territory at the 42. 12-yard return. Excellent field position for the Wolverines and their fans when we come back.
I've never heard of mushroom jack fajitas.
Well, first we combine
grilled chicken, Monterey Jack cheese, smoky bacon, and mushrooms. Chili's Mushroom Jack Fajitas.
Okay, then.
Eat to the beat of a different drum.
I like new things, especially when they get old.
Like keeping things around? Good news. Introducing Valvoline Max Life, the first motor oil formulated for higher mileage engines. Max Life conditions use seals to help prevent leaks and helps keep your high mileage engine performing for a long, long time.
Son, another 100,000 miles and this baby will be yours.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Tahoe. It brings even more power to remote areas than ever before. It's nowhere near anything. The new Chevy Tahoe, like a rock.
E-business solutions. Judging from the number of e-businesses going out of business, most haven't solved anything. At Dell, we design our servers, storage, and services to make it easier to get results. They help us generate $15 billion a year in e-commerce alone. Now that's what we call solutions. What about you? To find out more, visit Dell.com. Yep, it's that easy.
Dell e-business servers use Intel Pentium 3 Xeon processors.
Introducing Chili's famous fajitas. To go. Down, boy. Get in, get out, get on with your life.
The Indy Racing Championship comes down to the last race. 2 Indy 500 winners are among those in the battle for the Northern Light Cup. Sunday on ABC.
Back at Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor, no score here with 11:18 to go in the first quarter. But if you're just joining us on a college football Saturday, it's been quite a day around the Big Ten again, as previously undefeated Northwestern and Ohio State have lost. Here's a screen, David Terrell. And Terrell, nice yardage down near the 35-yard line.
David Terrell.
Well, the Dell Game Solutions for Michigan, they got to keep the focus the entire ball game. Last week's 28 points in the first half, only 3 in the second half loss to Purdue. And defensively for Indiana, tackling and turnovers. They've been poor tacklers. They need some turnovers to turn the balance in their favor here today.
Second down and 3. Draw play to Thomas. And he's going to be about a yard shy of the first down, I think. Kemp Rasmussen, the defensive end, one of the defensive captains in on the stop. Anthony Thomas, as Swanee was talking about, people just don't talk about him because he's so dependable. Nothing flashy necessarily, but you very seldom see somebody catch him either.
Never gets hurt. He's always there.
Last year, almost 200 yards in this game, which was then a career high for him. He had 197 last year on a school record tying 42 carries. Short yardage. He's got the first down to the 30-yard line. Scott Genord made the stop. Thomas will move the sticks to the 30.
The defense of Indiana is not very highly rated at all in the country. In fact, they're 110th in the nation in total defense. Scoring-wise, they're giving up about 35 points a game. That's the bad news. The good news is Indiana offensively is scoring 38 a game. So they have a lot of fun. Here's a look at defensively in the Big Ten.
You don't like that last word in all those columns.
No, you don't.
No. First down at the 30. Henson, play fake, and incomplete. David Terrell, did he slip on his cut?
Sure did.
And that'll bring up the conversation of this field again, which has been a topic of conversation all year long.
And he was out there in that area where it's usually pretty slippery.
That divot's right about the 21-yard line.
Here he is right here. He's just going to go down and slide to the inside right there.
Well, you saw that come up.
Just outside the numbers.
Looked like me pulling out a wedge. Look at that piece of grass that's missing over there. Here comes a blitz, and a well-timed blitz by Justin Smith, who drops Thomas for a loss. Let's check in with Swanee.
Well, I talked earlier to Mike Stevenson, who is Executive Associate Athletic Director, and he's charged of the facilities and operations. And the problem with this prescription athletic turf is that they found when they laid it in the spring of 1999 that there's about 1 inch of this that was not porous. In other words, the water does not drain through it, so it sits there. What they've attempted to do to solve the problem is they punched holes, they aerified the entire field, and they put sand on top of it. It's much better than it was against Wisconsin, but still not perfect. It's a problem that's going to take a little time to resolve, Brad.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And the Michigan people say if the numbers are slippery, that's a bad indication. Henson throws out in the flat, wide open is Rosal, and Rosal slipped, or he might have gotten a first down. He went down on his own.
Slipping all over the place. That was wide open. Rosal was wide open out in the flat.
Almost had to be a member of the Michigan hockey team to stand up on this drive so far.
Yeah, Rosal normally at tight end, lined up in the backfield. Henson looking down the field right there. You just can't get your feet. Normally the Michigan players know what to expect from this field. I was on the field before the game. The grass was cut very low, so it wasn't a fact that it was long grass. It's just wet and slippery.
Jeff Delverne's going to try to hit a 40-yard field goal. See his numbers on the year. The kick on the way, and he got it. So Delverne on the board first for Michigan, and the Wolverines lead 3-0.
Well, the field probably cost him 7 points because the slant route to Terrell, I think, would have scored.
Chevy Blazer LT. The only vehicle in its class with OnStar and lots of other security features. A little security in an insecure world. Blazer, like a rock.
Looking for some Disney magic? National Car Rental knows the best place to go. The 45 Years of Magic celebration at Disneyland Park. And as the official car rental company of Disneyland Resort in California, National gets you on the road and to the park fast. For a family experience you'll never forget. So what are you waiting for? Let's go to the 45 Years of Magic celebration at Disneyland with National Car Rental.
We're here for a toaster.
Big on taste but low on cash? Check out the new 99-cent BK Cravings menu at Burger King. 8 tasty choices at an incredible price, like the Slammin' Bullseye Barbecue Deluxe or some tasty mozzarella sticks. Just 99 cents every day at Burger King, where you can get great tasting food every day.
Eight minutes, 2 seconds left in the first quarter. Antoine Randall has yet to throw a pass. They just made the announcement here of Minnesota's win over Ohio State and Purdue's victory over Northwestern, and the fans, I think, are still absorbing it.
The laid-back fans here.
And the kick out of the end zone and through the goalpost.
He's fired up.
Indiana will start on offense after we check in with John Saunders in New York. John, good to have you back, pal.
Brad, thanks a lot. Good to be back. And in the Big Ten, things are wide open once again. Everyone has a loss. Northwestern lost, and now the Buckeyes against Minnesota. Tellus Redmond, 20-yard touchdown run, 29-17. They get the victory. First time since 1949, Minnesota wins at Columbus, and this field is wide open. Brad.
So strange. 1949 beating Ohio State.
And Minnesota went to Penn State last year when they were a good football team.
And did that.
And beat Penn State away.
Glenn Mason's got something going with the Golden Gophers.
Good job.
So Indiana better field position this time. Antoine Randall in trouble, but now he's got some open green in front of him. Across the 30, out near the 40 before he's run out of bounds. A pickup of 20.
Now, you think they drew that one up, Brad?
I don't think so.
Just like we drew it up, right, Coach? That's what Jim Herman, the defensive coordinator, said that he was concerned about was the impromptu plays of Randall L. This was supposed to start out looking like an option, then a pass, then fake a reverse, and then he says, hey, I ain't got time for all that. I got fire in the kitchen. I'm getting out of here.
He told us last night, Coach might not want to hear this, but I'm going to run more. I don't like throwing the ball away. Well, they got him a first down out near the 41. Now it's Williams for about 3 as we check the Dell Game Solutions for Indiana. Bob.
Hey, keep on smoking. They lead the conference in points with 38. They just keep on doing that. And defensively, obviously, contain Randall L. I think if you contain him, you'll beat the Hoosiers.
So Indiana's got something going now. 2nd down and 7. They've moved it out to the 44-yard line. Antoine Randall L. last year sensational. 4 touchdowns and threw a Hail Mary on the final play of the game that was almost caught. Out of the shotgun, play action. Wants to throw back the other way. It does. But it's spelled out beautifully by Eric Brackens.
Great play by Brackens.
Brackens, a Butkus candidate on the early watch list for that award, and he knew that Leveron Williams was coming out there.
This is a great play by Brackens. He's going to get a little screen play over here. Brackens right here. He's going to come up and make the play. Brackens sees it all the way, saw the lineman going out, got him out there, made the tackle.
So now a 3rd down and long for Indiana. They're 42% on 3rd downs this year. Antoine Randall L. open field on the run, throws complete down to the 43-yard line. Versi Gaddis, a pickup of 15. And Grease, that's what he does better. He gets in that pocket. When he gets out of the pocket, he makes stuff happen.
It's just fun to watch. You can't describe it any other way. That was not exactly the way it was supposed to be. The ball was supposed to have been gone a little bit sooner than that. But it's just improvisation. Now he pulls up, he's going to run. Now I see a guy open. I think I'll throw it in between 4 Michigan Wolverines. Over 2 of them, in front of 2 others.
So that's a second play, just like they drew it up. First down on the option. Antoine will keep this one, and he's going to get good yardage. Maybe another first down. Victor Hobson made the stop. We talked to Antoine Randall about where he's most dangerous on the football field.
I think I'm most dangerous, you know, outside of the pocket when it comes to either sprint out or just scrambling. I think, you know, dropping back pass and throwing passes and that sort of thing is, you know, I can do it, you know, but me being on the perimeter, I feel like it would give people more problems than anything.
Tried to ask him last night, why is it you throw so much better on the run? He said, I don't know, but I do.
Well, he's got his game figured out. He knows where he's most dangerous, and that's on the edge.
Another first down inside the Michigan 32. On the run again, and out of the hands of the fullback. It's picked off by Todd Howard. His 4th interception of the season. That one skipped off the hands of Jeremy Johnson.
Johnson, normally a good receiver, he's caught 18 passes in his career. Big fullback. Watch the pressure. This is Foot up the middle between the linemen. This ball is right on target, though, and should have been caught. Johnson weighs 275 pounds, but as I mentioned, he's caught 18 passes, so he's a good receiver. And obviously a good tackler, but he don't want to be making tackles on those types of throws.
So Todd Howard gives it back to Michigan at its own 29. Cross, a single setback as Henson drops to throw on first down. And he'll go to Cross in the flat. Made 1 or 2 miss. Got about 4. Rod Wallace, Jocelyn Goodman in on the stop.
It's a nice read by Drew Henson. Guys were covered downfield and just came off to Cross. Henson completing 62% of his passes on the season, and he's yet to throw an interception.
Speaking of interceptions, Antoine Randall only 4 picks in the last 383 attempts, and that last one was not his fault.
Don't hang that one on the quarterback.
Henson, quick slant, Marquise Walker out to the 49-yard line. And they have used that play and used that play, and if nobody's going to stop it, they're going to keep using it.
He's going to run a slant. Stone out there, redshirt freshman. That's Wallace, 22, not 42.
Marquise Walker's becoming one of Henson's favorite receivers. Part of it because people double team Terrell, but look at those numbers in the last 2 games. They call him the old man. He didn't look too old on that one. Outside the 48-yard line, first down. Cross hurdles his blocker and goes down for a loss. Loss of almost 2.
One of the things we were talking to some of the defensive players last night, Justin Smith and Johnny Anderson. One of the things they were talking about was being able to know where Michigan wanted to run the football from their tendencies and formations. That time they had a ton of guys stacked over on the right side of the defensive line.
Anthony Thomas, who had not been in the backfield the last few snaps, back in there now in a 2 tight end set. Second down and 12. Here comes a blitz. Henson wants to throw a screen back the other way to his tight end, Japru, and knocked out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. So that one, with the pressure coming, was set up pretty well.
Well, both teams have tried to use screens by rolling away. Henson this time is going to roll this way. Now watch the tight end. He's going to just sneak out to the back here on this side. He's going to roll out to this side, and look what he's got set up right here. He's got blocks to the inside. Good screen.
Cross back in there, sweeps the right side, got the corner, first down, and knocked out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Justin Smith knocked him out, or he might have been off to the races. Pickup of 12.
You talk about some good running backs for a college team. They got Anthony Thomas, Cross, and we haven't even seen this young freshman, Chris Perry.
Everybody raving about Perry. Anthony Thomas comes back in. They mark it down right at the 32-yard line. First and 10, Michigan. 3 wide receivers set for Drew Henson, but he'll keep it on the ground on a counter to Anthony Thomas. And Anthony got about 2. So Michigan leading 3-0 at home at Ann Arbor at Michigan Stadium, a packed house for homecoming number 100. Their first drive was a short one, capped with a 40-yard Epstein field goal. I should say Del Verne's field goal. And now they're on the move again. 7th play of the drive, 2nd down and 8 coming up. Little indecision. Joffre trying to get back into the huddle, and they better watch out here or they'll get one of those illegal substitution penalties called. Rosal now hustles off the field. On 2nd down, Henson to throw. Drew's got time, going deep. Marquise Walker there, knocked away at the very last instant. Sherrod Wallace made up some serious ground, and that would have been a touchdown.
Took too long to get there. He had great protection on the play. The ball hung up in the air, and Wallace just got back to knock it down. Here's a protection. That's Justin Smith, 27 on the blitz. Look at the time he's got. He needs to get it there a little bit quicker. Get it there right now over Wallace's head, and you had a touchdown.
Wallace wasn't even quite sure how great a play he made until the very last second. So now it's 3rd down and 8. 3 wideouts again. Make it 4 wideouts for Henson. Time running out. Drew's got a lot of open field inside the 30, the 20, and he's got a 1st down.
He needs to slide a little bit better than that. He should know how to slide. He should know how to slide. You know, the baseball player in him.
Penalty marker on the far side of the field.
I guess they don't slide too much with helmets on and that baseball
could be.
stuff.
If we have a defensive holding, that's a funny spot where that flag is on the turf over there. And that's a call.
It was on the receiver on that top side over there.
So season-long run for Drew Henson, and I'm sure they'll decline this penalty and take the play.
Take a look at these two. That's Terrell. Releases inside. That's what they called right there.
Dwayne Stone over there bumped him, and there the flag flew in after Terrell had hit the turf. Again slipping down with a little help from the defense.
Both of these corners for IU are not very big, only 5'9" in height and about 180.
Now they're walking this penalty off after the play. I thought they'd take the play, decline the penalty, but they walk it off inside the 10.
And mark that off from the end of the play.
That's a little strange, isn't it? Well, that one's got me baffled. I would think it would be one or the other. At any rate, it's 1st and goal, Michigan. Thomas sidesteps one tackler on his feet, still in the end zone. Touchdown!
He could smell it. He wanted it.
Could he ever? Not to be denied. Anthony Thomas, his 8th rushing touchdown of the year, his 45th of his Michigan career. Del Verne in for the point after, and it's up and good. So Anthony Thomas, who had a big day a year ago against Indiana, has a good start here today. The sidestep 7 yards and bruises his way to the end zone.
Policeman, fireman, the mayor of my town. The dude's hanging off of the paper truck. Mr. Chang, down at the local deli, sells me morning coffee, wishes me good luck. This is for the people in my neighborhood. They help me through the day and make me feel good. This but's for you. And you and you and you. This but's for you.
In the world we're born into, being smart doesn't necessarily make you a financial success. Neither does being pretty, neither does being talented. There are brilliant failures and there are successful zeros. Having money isn't a matter of good or bad. Having money is a matter of putting your money in a better place. Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, Move your money. Get well connected.
And then she took it, and then she was like, no, first. Boil it first. Never in a million years have I ever done that.
The Jaguars' playoff hopes hang on a critical game against the Titans. It's do or die on Monday Night Football at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC.
10-0 Michigan with 2:26 to go in the first half. The offensive line did their job there to help lead the way for Anthony Thomas, who now with 45 touchdowns, right behind Ty Wheatley's 47, which is the school record. His 7-yarder kept the 71-yard march in 9 plays. Here's the kick. A.C. Carter from a couple yards deep. Straight up the middle out to the 20. That's where Indiana will go to work. College football on ABC Sports brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest lasting trucks on the road. Goodyear, serious technology, freedom from worry. Dell, providing the infrastructure to power your e-business. And Budweiser, with a crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. Gorgeous day, college football in mid-October. In the big house, Michigan Stadium, 107,000 plus on hand for homecoming, and they like what they see so far. Here in the first quarter, their team in front 10-0. Penalty marker down as Brian Lewis goes out for about 5 yards, and that one thrown in the general vicinity of a holding call against Indiana. And that will back them up to about their own 10-yard line if that is indeed the call. Dennis Lipsky's our referee. There's the call as they walk it off. We'll go to John Saunders at Times Square Stadium. John.
Right here on the Burger King update. You know, Kansas State had not trailed all year. Fell down 3-0. Scored the next drive on a touchdown to go up 7-3. Then Seth Luttrell on this kickoff return takes it. Looks like it's a touchdown. Rather, J.T. Thatcher on the run takes it in. It was Luttrell who took it in for the touchdown. Oklahoma now leads again 10-7.
Well, a good one going on in Manhattan.
Yeah, the special teams usually are work in favor of Kansas State. Now they're working against them a little bit there.
So backed up to the 10 and a first down and 20. So it's been that way for Antoine Randall on 2 of the 3 possessions today.
Had a nice drive going the last time, and the interception, Michigan turned it into a touchdown.
Straight in the pocket to throw. Screen pass out to the left side to Lewis. Got one block and out of bounds at about the 15. Todd Howard ran him out.
This Indiana offense is ranked very strong, very highly. They're scoring 11th in the nation. They are averaging, like I mentioned, 38 points a game. The problem is they give up 35 points a game. So when you come to do an Indiana game, it's pretty exciting.
You just keep looking at the scoreboard. Right now they're looking at a 0 up there, and they would like to change it on this drive. Second down and 15. It's a straight quarterback sweep here. Sidestepped one tackler and got out across the original line of scrimmage to about the 22-yard line. Todd Howard put him down. Coming up next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. ABC Sports has more great regional action. Many of you are going to see this Michigan team against Michigan State. In the ACC, Virginia meets Florida State. USC and Stanford out west. And a Big 12 game that we'll figure out as the day goes along. Check your local listings for details or get all the games on pay-per-view by calling your local cable operator or satellite company. Michigan hasn't given up a first quarter touchdown in the last 11 games, and it looks like that may hold up again. We only have 30 seconds left in this quarter, and it's 3rd down and 8. Antoine Randall fires, and that's complete. Across the 30 and thrown right down at the 1st and 10 line, presented by Pacific Life. But as you saw him, he got over that yellow marker, his forward progress before he's thrown back. So he'll keep the drive alive.
I think he throws better on the run, moving around.
Absolutely.
And this is outstanding. Spread the pocket. Pulls up. Look at this. Throws right in between the two. A nice job by the receiver to come back for the ball because the two defenders were on either side of him.
On 3rd down and 8, he picks up 12 with another rocket on the move. So Indiana on the move a little bit. They're going to need to keep going because they are down 10 at the end of the first quarter. An ABC Sports presentation of college football will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
He's upside down. This one has to go like that.
Some children imagine that their father is the most powerful man in the world. Wonder where they got that idea. The 300 horsepower Silverado. The truck from Chevrolet.
Does peace of mind have a name? Can confidence and trust be summed up in one word? Can innovation really mean security? In 90 manufacturing centers in 27 countries, Goodyear scientists and engineers are working every day to answer those questions and to ensure that your family is riding on the safest, most durable tires we can make. Peace of mind does have a name. It's Goodyear.
And folks, we've reached the halfway point of our transatlantic flight to Chicago.
Got a lot of international calls to make? Get great rates from home with AT&T's international plan. All day, every day, call 1-800-41-RATE to enroll.
Coming up next, the Dr. Pepper halftime show.
You made the world taste better, yeah. You made the world taste better. Dr. Pepper. You make the world taste better. You made the world taste better.
Michigan by 10 as we enter the second quarter. Antoine Randall so far today, 30 yards passing, 38 yards rushing. And as Bob said, had a good drive going prior to the interception that was not his fault. His fullback didn't hold on to it. Todd Howard picked it off. That led to a Michigan score. So to start the second quarter, the Hoosiers on a first down. Randall throws on the run, got a man again across the 45 and out of bounds near midfield. Versi Gaddis complete out near midfield.
And Brad Gaddis makes a great catch coming back to the quarterback. But even though Randall L. throws well on the run, it's one of the most difficult things for a receiver to adjust to. He is not 6'6" or 6'7". He's a small guy. Trying to find him in that pocket when it moves is really, really tough. So receivers, when they run routes, will be looking if they can find him, but actually looking for the offensive pile kind of moving and looking for a ball coming out somewhere.
That would look a little different.
Oh, yes.
You don't see the body, you just see the ball on the way.
That's what they have to adjust to.
Straight up the middle and to about the 48-yard line is Dwayne Hogan, the fullback.
Well, I would say these receivers at Indiana are probably used to seeing a ball come out of nowhere because Randall L's been doing it for 2 or 3 years.
These receivers too, and Gaddis and Jerry Dorsey, they say, you want to talk about a guy that just never quits. They say we can be sitting in our apartment just kind of relaxing. It's early morning and all of a sudden there's a pound on the door and it's Antoine Randall L. Come on guys, let's go throw it around a little bit. He just never quits. Second down and 7 from the 48. They back out of the option and going to throw long for Gaddis. Got him out there. Perfect pass. He just couldn't quite drag it in.
That's a good play all around. Offensively, defensively, they were right there. He had a shot, but it had to be a perfect throw. Randall L. just overthrew it just a couple of feet.
This is his best looking pass from the pocket today. I thought he had him right there. Just a little too far.
And as Randall was telling us last night, Randall L. was telling us, he says, Gaddis has got more speed. He says, more often than not, I'll underthrow him. I really got to get the ball out there. And that's what you want to do. You want to lead them so they can run to it.
Frazier, Gaddis, and Graham, the 3 wide receivers. And the tight end Brandt's in motion from the shotgun on 3rd down and 7. Here comes some pressure down the middle. Got it complete. 1st down. Gaddis on the run to the 31-yard line.
It's amazing the way he keeps it alive. Everything was breaking down. He thought he was going to have to run, and at the last minute, he saw Gaddis come across and open up, and he got him the football. Take a look from behind the defense. He's coming right at you. Everything's covered. Patman can't see him. Now he crosses right there. Just keep it alive. Great feet. He's got good feet. Good feet, quick arm.
That's a 3rd catch by Gaddis today, the 2nd one of them on 3rd down.
Great imagination.
At the 31. Now the option, but he'll keep it. And late pitch. No, he faked it. Oh, that's a little sleight of hand. I thought the ball almost left his hand.
Well, he had tucked it away. You know, on an option, you'll come down with it in both hands, but he had actually tucked it away. This is like a point guard in basketball.
Which he was for a year.
Yeah, coming right at you. Now watch what a point right here. You see, he goes tuck it away. Now that the option is over with now. But now it's going to come back. Right here it comes back. He says, no, I better not do that.
He almost did give it up.
He did, yeah.
He almost did give it up. You know, he was a basketball player, and we talked to him, and he said, you know, sometimes I'm out there, he says, I'll go for the assist, but if I have to, I'll score 50. That time, he should have gone for the assist.
Swanee and Antoine last night talking about assists or 50, whichever comes first. Nice play fake. Getting some pressure now, though. They get him this time. And it's Eric Brackens, the linebacker. You can't escape every time.
Now, what happens is he only has one receiver that's going to be out in the route. And he has nobody else to throw the ball to. He's over there on the side, and now he's got people in his face, and he got nobody to throw the ball to. Nowhere to run.
Not a white jersey over there.
Nowhere to hide.
So that backs it way up to the 30-yard line, where it's 2nd down and 20. High snap over his head from the shotgun. Trying to field it on a bounce. It's still loose. Brian Lewis finally covers it, but it's way back at the 45-yard line.
It's tough enough to beat Michigan at Michigan without making the silly mistakes like that. A snap over the center's head. Osika, as you mentioned, was a tight end last year.
This is a loss of 25. Oops.
There was a man right on the nose of Osika, the center, and that time he tried to snap the ball and try to cut block him. Watch him right here. Well, you couldn't see it too well, but he had to try and pull a little bit to block him. So we've had a tip ball for an interception, and now a bad snap that's going to stop this drive probably.
I don't know if Antoine can quick kick, but it's 3rd and 45.
Yeah.
They lost 25 on that play and 10 on the previous sack. Here it comes. They blocked it. Quick kick is blocked.
I don't think he blocked it. I think he kicked it into the back of his offensive lineman.
Ball dead at the 41-yard line.
I think he kicked it in the back of DeMar. I think if you're going to do this, you ought to line up a little bit deeper. Take a look from behind the offense. You got to line up deeper if you do this quick kick. The offense won't know it. Kicks it right in the back of DeMar. That's number 70, the right tackle.
Hit him right in the back. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't gain him anything. They could have thrown long and hoped for an interception.
I like the call, though. It's just the alignment. The execution wasn't there.
Right. There you see the Ohio State loss to Minnesota. First time since 1949 the Gophers have won at the Horseshoe. Florida leading Auburn. Good game in the Pac-10. Oregon and USC. Georgia had to survive Vanderbilt but won, and they're still in the hunt in the SEC championship picture. Now the coaches are being told what went on that play.
I like the call. It was what you said. It was 3rd and 42. They had to go to the 10-yard line of Michigan for a first down. Punt the ball away when Michigan is not back and not expecting it. Let it roll down there and get some field position.
The punt was kicked on third down. It never crossed the line of scrimmage. It remained on the offensive side. Therefore, it's 4th down.
There you go. That's why your field goal team takes a 3rd down sometimes, too, in case there's a bad snap.
The key is it never went across the line of scrimmage.
It dropped down literally about 2 feet, I think, behind the line of scrimmage when it finally rolled dead.
That's a nice call by this officiating crew to be heads up on that play.
Dennis Lipsky and the crew on top of that, and they explain it to both Lloyd Carr and Cam Cameron, and obviously Cam's the happier of the two about the call. But now they can go in a regular punt formation and try to knock one down inside the 20, because it would have been great field position for Michigan at the 41 had it stayed there. Little more explanation coming up, maybe.
Please reset the game clock to 11:18.
All right.
11:18.
Add 3 more seconds and give a guy that's used to kicking a chance to knock it away to Ronald Bellamy, who's back deep for Michigan. Ryan Hamry, a true freshman, in to punt for Indiana.
Bellamy's got a wrap on his hand. See if he can catch this ball.
Oh boy, they blocked that one too, and it's Marquise Walker on the hop. It's a touchdown, Michigan. The old man keeps rolling along. He blocked it, he scooped it, he scored it. Touchdown, Wolverines. You can't do it any better than that. Jeff Delverne in for the point after. So disaster strikes on 4 straight plays. A sack, a high snap out of the shotgun, a short kick, and then a punt that was blocked, and it all adds up to a Michigan touchdown.
Closest route is right up the middle. Walker is the linebacker right behind the line. He kind of crosses over, gets right up, he gets in there free, and as you mentioned, scoops it up and runs it in.
17-0 Wolverines.
This is kind of how you look to the infrared sensors in the all-new Dodge Caravan. They read the temperature around the driver, front passenger, and back passengers, and give each zone its own control. It's the first minivan to offer automatic 3-zone climate control, because some like it hot, some like it cool, and some just want in. Dodge Grand Caravan, the best minivan ever. Different.
It all comes down to this. Ball on the 14-yard line. No timeouts left.
Tostitos? The exhilarating taste of new spicy quesadilla Tostitos chips. It's fun for everyone. Dig in, kick back, Tostitos.
Big on taste, but low on cash? Try the new 99-cent BK Cravers menu from Burger King. 8 mouth-watering choices at an unbelievable price. Like the delicious flame-broiled Bullseye Barbecue Deluxe Burger or cheesy mozzarella sticks. Just 99 cents every day at Burger King, where you can get great-tasting food every day. Got the urge?
Do you remember anything after being scanned?
A human was cloned. That human was you.
Well, you cloned the wrong man.
They'll do anything to destroy the evidence. And you're the evidence.
Daddy?
How do you know? He's not you, and you're not him.
I know who I am.
The Sixth Day, rated PG-13. Opens everywhere November 17th.
Monday, look into his eyes. What terrible secret is he hiding that ruined this father's life? 2020 downtown with a chilling mystery Monday.
The hairline may be a little higher than some. They say he looks like he's 35. He's only 21. As I said, his teammates call him the old man. Said, you know, you better really stretch before you run your pass patterns. He didn't look very old on that last play.
He didn't.
Did everything himself. His second career block punt. And this one's good for a touchdown.
You know, you see more and more teams now using starters. Walker is a starting wide receiver, using starters on special teams. Virginia Tech uses a lot of them, and they use they block a lot of kicks. This Michigan team had a long week. They came out and scored 17 quick points right here.
Epstein's kickoff. Go down to Graham at the 9. And up the middle. Up to about the 29-yard line as we get another look at the touchdown.
Here he is right here. He's just going to come right up the middle. All these other defensive players are going to take the Indiana players to the right. It just opens up a big hole right up the center. You can't do it any better than this if you're a Michigan Wolverine.
And then talk about playing it beautifully on the bounce. Never broke stride.
Yeah. He kept running, hoping that it was going to jump up to him. And how often do you see that it doesn't jump up? That time he got the bounce.
That's his 5th touchdown of the year. 4 on the receiving end of passes, and that one on a punt return. Now Indiana in a big hole from their own 29. Randall L, late pitch. Williams. And he goes out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. This week's Aflac trivia question. Who's the only college player to have accounted for 200 or more points, both rushing and passing, in his career? We'll have the answer come up in a few minutes. I'll give you a hint. Antoine Randall L is closing in on joining that other gentleman.
Close. This Indiana team is used to scoring a lot of points, so being down 17, they normally, in fact, they've scored 35 or more points in every game this year.
Nobody else in the country's done it.
Well,
what fumble! Michigan's got it. Another Indiana turnover. And this time the defensive line was in the right spot at the right time for defensive coordinator Jim Herman. And the Wolverines have got it back.
Indiana had 4 turnovers in their loss at Northwestern last week. Here's a look at it.
Gary Rose gets this one.
Yeah, he wanted to keep the ball. He was just going to fake it to him. Williams was looking to go block somebody and help out, and he didn't get away from him, and they dropped the football.
So Gary Rose, the nose tackle, with the fumble recovery, and that sets up the Wolverines at the Hoosiers' 27-yard line. Henson, nice play fake. Might want it all on the first play. Deep middle, Terrell, touchdown! A sudden change in a sudden 6. Henson 27 yards to Terrell for the score. As so often is the case, you go for the juggler after a turnover. Nice. Big smile on Henson's face as he threw it perfectly.
Nice call by Stan Parrish, the offensive coordinator. You say sudden change, come right back at him, throw one down the field, give it a shot.
What do I want the internet to be? I want it to be like Frank here. He really knows customers. Package Frank. Put him together with the internet. Now you've got something. You know, I just want doing e-business with us to be more human.
Today, Nortel Networks is combining the power of the new high-performance internet with the tools your business needs to deliver stronger, more Frank-like e-business solutions.
Come together right now over me.
Want to start a family?
Right now?
I just got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
Aflac. Well, if we get sick, our health insurance won't cover things like lost pay or other expenses. This does.
What's it called? Aflac!
I don't know.
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
center console is just a euphemism for trash can. So in the all-new Caravan, Dodge did it differently. With a power outlet and places for everything, it's a regular personal organizer. It even moves from front to back. So no matter where you go, there it is. Dodge Grand Caravan, the best minivan ever. Different.
Well, number 11's looking on, wondering how he can get his team back in this ballgame. They trailed 17-0 last year in this matchup with Michigan and actually came back to lead 24-17 at one time. But right now they're in a 24-point hole. Turnovers have accounted for 14 points. And then if you add the block punt, which in essence is a turnover, it's 21 points off mistakes by Indiana.
And that's from the unit, the offensive side that's been playing very well all season.
High short kick. And out of bounds it goes. So it will be at the 35-yard line for Indiana. You know, you go back to the Orange Bowl that we did last year, Bob. You and I and Swanee watched David Terrell just light it up in the Orange Bowl. He had 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. He hasn't slowed down, Swanee.
And he hasn't slowed down, and that pass route he ran for the touchdown was nothing special, taking advantage of his height and the mismatch in the corner. But what they really took advantage of is the fact that the defense of Indiana has been stacking the line to stop the run. He's been open like this all afternoon. I'm surprised that Michigan waited so long to go to him in the air.
It's his 8th straight game with a touchdown reception.
And he's gone 20 straight games with at least 1 catch. And you know he's going to get one every week. And it's getting to the point where he's going to get a touchdown every week.
And Lynn is right. He's been open a lot. And Michigan has just been running the football.
So the Hoosiers trail by 24. The first down at their own 35. Late pitch. And a flag down. Pickup of about 4 by LeBron Williams. This one thrown right in the thick of things. Let's see if it's a holding call against Indiana. If it is, it's going to be another situation where they're deep in their own territory. Nope, it's going to be offsides against Michigan. They'll take that and pick up an extra yard more than the run got them. Coming up Monday Night Football this week. Jacksonville Jaguars. There's a team that is in need of a win. They take on the Tennessee Titans of Steve McNair and company on Monday Night Football, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. And Mark Brunell has been banged around, sacked more than anybody else in the league.
27 sacks.
That hurts.
That'll wear you out.
Yeah, it will. So if the Jaguars, who are many people's favorite from the AFC to make the Super Bowl, they're going to have to get some serious gear.
They'll turn it around.
1st and 5 after the penalty. And now a loss of a yard, almost 2. Williams going nowhere. Gary Rose, who had recovered that fumble, in on the tackle.
That defensive line is just too quick. As soon as the offensive guard pulls, there's Jim Herman, the defensive coordinator.
His defense have been allowing 365 yards a game, and if you go back in the last 65 years of Michigan football, only the '82 team was this lenient with yardage. So what they've done to start today has got to make Jim have a big smile on his face.
Well, he's got a lot of young players, a lot of talented players, but they're inexperienced.
2nd down 7. Randall L. rolls, throws, and got it complete out near midfield. And out of bounds is Gaddis at about the 45-yard line, 46-yard lines where they'll spot it, a pickup of 16.
This IU offense has got some players on it with some skill and some abilities. Gaddis, one receiver, Dorsey at the other. And Randall L. pushing the buttons. It's just the offensive line's a little young, a little new, but they've still been scoring a lot of points.
And Antoine got leveled as he let go of that ball, but again throws right on the money when he's on the move. And a first down at the 46-yard line. 9.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Gaddis has caught 4 balls for 63 yards already. That's Graham in motion. Straight drop, screen pass set up. Williams makes a one-handed catch. Oh, what a hit.
You can hear that one up here, huh?
Line of scrimmage. Brackens, headgear to headgear. Ouch. Those kind leave a mark.
There was a crease there. He just didn't get there when it was. He got there when it closed. Nice little play action. Gets it over the defensive man's head. That takes some time right there. It showed screen when he threw it, and Bracken's 51, and everybody else came a-running.
Howard was on the bottom of that, too.
He needed to be upfield about 2 seconds before that.
So 2nd down and 10 after the collision at the line of scrimmage. Randall throws deep on the run and overshot everybody.
He just threw that one away.
Aaron Graham, number 19, the intended receiver, or the closest guy anyway. So Oklahoma maintains a 10-point lead on Kansas State. Not a lot of unbeatens left anymore. Ohio State bit the dust today. Not only putting a blemish on their Big Ten record, but their overall mark as well. Oregon leading USC. Some of the other scores from around the country today. It's not just the Big Ten that's a little bit screwy this year. Everybody is finding that in their conferences.
Miami knocking off Florida State last week.
Texas trying to get back in gear against Colorado. 3rd down and 10. Delayed pressure coming. Wide opens the tight end, and he dropped it. Chris Dealman slipped as he tried to make his turn. Again, you're going to see a big divot behind him right there, and that didn't help his cause.
Dealman is not your normal size tight end either. He's 283 pounds.
Plays both ways, defense and offense.
Came over from the defensive side. And you know, when you're throwing to a defensive lineman, that's a pretty good throw. It put it right in his hands. He just couldn't catch it and put it away.
You saw the turf come up when he made the cut, but he'd already dropped the ball at that point. Andy Payne now, the place kicker, also their pooch punter, set to kick away, and Ronald Bellamy waiting on the other end. Nice kick, fair catch called for by Bellamy, and he makes the grab. And a penalty marker as somebody got in the halo down there on special teams. Looked like Marcus Floyd didn't give him enough room, even though he made the catch routinely. They threw the penalty marker on the play.
Yep.
We'll get another look at it here. Bellamy with a
college
clear,
football,
fair catch.
trying to protect everybody.
Oh boy.
Well, I'm
I
telling
don't
you
know about that. I don't know.
That's a weak call, Bob.
Yeah, that
Brad.
is. You're
I mean,
right,
he came down under control. You know,
even veered off to his left to try to stay out of the line of fire.
I'm usually on the side of the officials, but I think that guy wanted to throw one there.
24-0 Wolverines.
Big on taste, but low on cash? Try the new 99-cent BK Cravers menu from Burger King. 8 mouth-watering choices at an unbelievable price. Like the tasty chicken tender sandwich. Or spicy jalapeno poppers. Just 99 cents every day at Burger King, where you can get great tasting food every day. Got the urge?
Know how to spot a die-hard battery owner? Look for their jumper cables. Die-Hard, America's most trusted battery with 30 years of starting power. How much do you trust your battery?
Presenting the best minivan ever. The only one available with power sliding doors and a power hatch. Nothing else is remotely like it. The all-new Dodge Grand Caravan. Different.
Promotional consideration provided by National Car Rental, the official car rental company of the Bowl Championship Series on ABC.
Let's go!
Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan, and our ABC crew in Ann Arbor, where the Wolverines lead 24-0. And Drew Henson's put up some impressive numbers so far.
He has. They've scored on their last 3 possessions, a field goal and 2 touchdowns. Plus their special teams got one in there.
Yep. 6 of those completions by Henson went to 5 different receivers. Let's see if he hooks up with somebody else here. Marquise Walker on the run at the 40, trying to keep his footing down the sideline. Marquise Walker, one man to beat inside the 20. Broke a tackle. He's got it, 1st and goal for Michigan. 75 yards.
Michigan, this is a play Michigan's been using forever.
Longest play of the year for the Wolverines. Here it comes.
Quarterback kind of boots out this way, rolls this side. Now watch the receiver from the opposite side. Going to come across the field. Boy, is he open or what? Look at the receiver. Look how far he is open. Walker catches the ball. Big play.
1st and goal at the 6. Anthony Thomas weaving his way. Touchdown, Michigan. This is a team that came to play today.
Well, it's been a long week. They were ready to play this game on Tuesday.
You're right. Soon to be 31-0. In 2 plays, Michigan takes it down the field. Extra point is good. Anthony Thomas, 7 carries, only 18 yards, but man, is he making them count. Here's his 2nd touchdown.
Probably the best offensive line in the country. Just opens up a huge hole. You don't find huge holes down inside the 10-yard line like you see right there.
So Anthony Thomas, as I said, only 7 carries, but 2 of them scores. And the last 2 Michigan drives have gone 5 seconds and 27 seconds. And the old man, Swanee, Marquise Walker, looks like a youngster out there.
Well, he's playing like a youngster. Whenever you have a great receiver like a David Terrell, to really take advantage of a defense, you've got to have another really good receiver, and Marquise Walker is that guy. He has all kinds of space. Everybody is up on the defense. He does a smart thing. He just runs the route, doesn't try and do too much. Then he looks downfield, finds the open space, and he runs. Right now, he's just wishing he had just done a few more squats and had about maybe a tenth of a faster time in that 40-yard dash.
You know he wanted to get in, don't you, Swanee?
You know, and the receiver gets down close to the goal line. He knows he's got no chance if he gets tackled about the 1-yard line when you have a back like A-Train, because he's going to carry it in. They're not going to throw the fade pattern unless it's 3rd
That's right.
goal.
That smile says it all for Marquise Walker. You saw his numbers in the last 3 games now. They're eye-popping, almost as good as David Terrell on the other side.
Cameron was an assistant here at Michigan for 8 years, along with Lloyd Carr. So I'm sure that there's going to be some sort of feeling on Lloyd Carr's side that later on in the ballgame, hey, we don't want to run this up, but at the same time, we played well last week in the 1st half and didn't do anything in the 2nd half.
Here's the high kick. Fair catch called for and taken by Dillman, the tight end, at about the 28-yard line. Well, our Courtyard by Marriott moment this week takes us back to last year's meeting between these 2 teams in Bloomington. In spite of Randall L's 4 touchdown passes, it was Epstein's field goal that gave Michigan the lead with 18 seconds to go. And here's the last desperation pass by Antoine Randall L, and it was close. But Michigan had held on for a 34-31 victory. James Whitley's the guy that knocked it away in the end zone. Epstein, the guy that won it with the field goal with 18 seconds remaining. This one doesn't look like it's going to go that way, though, folks. Let's be honest. It's 31-0, and it's going to take Indiana some serious point scoring here before halftime to get back in this thing. Antoine Randall throws on the run. There he goes again. Perfect dart down there to Gaddis, and that is his 7th catch of the day.
Indiana has a lot of good plays, a lot of good offensive plays where Randall L is getting out and throwing on the run. They're just making some big mistakes that are giving up the football, and Michigan has taken advantage of them and scoring very quickly.
Randall L back into the huddle. 1st down at the 42. That was Gaddis' 5th catch, not his 7th of the day, but he's been the main target for Antoine so far. We approach 7.5 minutes 1st half. possession. There's the late pitch to Lewis. Good defense. Job defensively by Charles Drake, who ran him out of bounds. Michigan's defense is fired up as its offense today.
24, Charles Drake.
20 million people watched the premiere of Gideon's Crossing last week. Don't miss an all-new episode when it returns on its regular nights. Wednesday at 10, 9 Central on ABC. The Michigan Wolverines at home on a glorious sunshine-filled day. And just sitting back enjoying it right now is the offense, as they have a 31-0 lead.
This is the first time they've enjoyed this week.
You're not kidding. Randall L on the cut almost slipped but kept his footing and goes out to the 47-yard line. Victor Hobson knocked him off his pins.
This Michigan defense, as we mentioned, young, talented, but inexperienced, lost 6 starters who had played 3 years and started 3 years for the Wolverines.
Some injuries have caused some of those younger guys to be in there as well.
Freisinger, Jake Freisinger, defensive end, is out. Cato June, leader of the secondary, is out. Eric Wilson, a defensive lineman, not playing today.
Freisinger, they just found had much the same kind of broken bone in his foot as Drew Henson had earlier this season. Here's a pitch to Lewis, and he goes down before he gets to the first down marker. Picked up about 2. It's going to be 4th and at least 3. Jeremy LeSueur knocked him off his feet over there on the far side.
That was a good shot of Jake Freisinger. Eric Wilson.
So another punting situation. Last time it was a disaster, as Hamry had it blocked by Walker, who took it in for the touchdown all in one motion. Gets this kick away. Nice punt. Bellamy has to let it go, and it bounces all the way to the end zone. A touchback. 51-yard kick, but only a net 31 as they'll bring it out to the 20. College football on ABC Sports brought to you by the makers of the all-new Dodge Caravan. Dodge, different. Nortel Networks. We're building the new high-performance internet. Chili's. I want my Chili's baby back ribs only at Chili's. And Courtyard by Marriott, the hotel designed by business travelers. From campus to the Big House Michigan Stadium on homecoming number 100. First down, Michigan from the 20. Thomas got 4, almost 5.
Something special about coming back here, isn't there? This Big House and the stadium and the tradition. And
the only place better than our spot in the press box would have been outside tailgating with everybody else. There's some nice smells out there today.
That's
on the
for
way
sure. They do it up right. And homecoming, obviously, it couldn't get any better than that.
Last 5 possessions for Michigan. They only had 1 punt, and then they started putting touchdowns and field goals together. Already lead by 31. Henson, nice play fake. Throws on the run to his tight end, wide open across the middle. Out to the 43-yard line, Bill Seymour. The big fella rumbles out there and picks up the first down. There's the possessions we were talking about, the last 5 times they've had the ball.
Look at these 2 right here. Indiana 42 and the Indiana 27. They started those drives in Indiana territory. And that doesn't show the punt block that was returned for a touchdown.
There's the biggins up front protecting Henson beautifully today and opening holes for Anthony Thomas. This pass just flipped out there with a quick flip of the wrist to David Terrell. That shows the kind of arm Drew Henson's got. He just kind of flicked that thing out.
It doesn't get much better than this offense when you've got an offensive line with 4 seniors, 4 fifth-year seniors, and a couple of the guys are going to be drafted pretty highly. Then you got the skilled players on the outside in Terrell and Walker. You got a guy like Drew Henson that can get him the football, and Anthony Thomas and the rest of the running backs, they've got the complete package right here.
Henson's got 173 yards now, 9 of 12 on the day. Set to throw again. Out complete near midfield. Nice job by Askew to keep his hand down and keep his balance. I don't think he got the first down, about a yard short. That, I think now, if I'm counting right, is the 7th different receiver along with Seymour, who caught one on this drive that Henson has used today.
And he's doing the right thing. The plays are being called, and he's letting the defense dictate to where he goes with the football. That's how you throw to a lot of different guys. He's not going to go out and he's not saying, geez, I better throw one to all my receivers and my tight ends and my backs to keep him happy. He's going where the defense tells him to go.
Third down and short. A give to Thomas. Broke a tackle. First down and then some. Inside the 40. And down to about the 38-yard line. A pickup of 11 by Anthony Thomas. So Michigan mixing it up well.
First down for Michigan.
From a look behind the defense. Plays off a block. Breaks a tackle.
And a first down out to 37. Both wideouts to the near side, and Walker and Terrell. And off play action, that's where Henson wanted to go. Throws incomplete, batted down at the line of scrimmage. Askew, actually, the fullback, was his intended receiver. But as Bob talked about, he's been throwing it around. I said 7 different receivers. He says sometimes he comes out of the game, doesn't know who he's thrown it to.
For me, it's not as much trying to get a certain guy the ball as just take my reads within the play that's called, and whoever that route is designed to go to, if they're open, I get them the ball. So, you know, I'm not sure how many receptions each guy has until halftime, until the game's over.
The way it should be.
They're all going to be patting him on the backside when this one's over. Terrell on the rocket screen slips inside the 30 down to about the 28.
Terrell's got the quickness to come in there and catch that ball and do something with it. It's just that you have to avoid those guys with the high numbers. It's a wide receiver screen. The offensive linemen go downfield to help block for you. But you don't want to get back in there where those defensive linemen come back at you.
Here's a stretch play. Going for the first down is Perry, and he got it. There's the freshman. First time he's touched it today. And they say he's going to be a good one. He's sure good looking back at practice. 6'2", 228. A lot of speed, and picked up the first down.
Well, this is Michigan, and they got plenty of backs. So you got to wait your turn.
Right.
But they think he's really going to be something else.
So they've worked it all the way down to the 22-yard line now, with a 31-point lead and looking for more with 3:40 left in the half. Ninth play of the drive. They're going to go the other way with the same play. Perry. He's in the open field. Got the touchdown from 22 yards out. That's why they think he's going to be special. Had some great blocks, though, to get him there.
He went unbalanced line and just ran around him.
You bring back the guys that know how to cheer on homecoming. Del Verne's going to have a sore leg just from kicking extra points. Perry from 22 yards out almost matches his jersey number with that run. And there come the big eaters that led the way.
Watch this, guys. This is Williams, the right tackle that came over from to the left side. It's an unbalanced line. And Rousseau, number 40, is right there to get a block.
Marquise Walker, the wideout, got a little push block too back there.
That's the first time I've seen Michigan go to an unbalanced line where they bring the tackle over and set him next to the other tackle. It's a good running formation. It doesn't seem like many things are not working for Michigan today. I mean, it's just,
if they are, I haven't seen them.
One of those, yeah. That's the first time we saw unbalance, and it worked.
That's right. 80-yard march in 2.5 minutes. And 3:31 remaining in the half. 38-0. Well-engineered drive both through the air and on the ground. Everybody seemingly getting involved, from tight ends and fullbacks to tailbacks and backup tailbacks to both wide receivers. That makes just about everybody happy, including that offensive line that did a brilliant job getting them down there. Epstein to kick. High and short again. taken at the 8-yard line by Graham. Graham cuts outside, flag down, is going to negate a nice run back by Darren Graham because they're going to have an illegal block. Second flag flies in at the end of the play as well. The first one you would assume is an illegal block from behind, and clear it all up here with Dennis Lipsky, our referee. 23-yard return that's going to come back, at least we think it is. It is holding on Indiana, and holding on Indiana.
Holding again.
Well, earlier we asked you who's the only college player to have accounted for 200 or more points, both rushing and passing in his career. And if you said somebody from Michigan might have done it, you would be right. Rick Leach in the mid-70s, 204 points rushing, 288 passing. And Antoine Randall L. with a year plus remaining. There's his numbers. So he's got that one in his sights. We talked to him about all those records. He said, I have no clue. So they keep records on everything. Yeah. He said the sports information department comes up with some of those things sometimes, but I have no clue.
Says they'll let me know when I break him.
Right.
He's a deadlock cinch to break that one though.
Today he's had bad field position. He has fumbled once when trying to play fake to Williams, his tailback. He's had an interception that wasn't his fault. And then you throw in a blocked punt that went for a touchdown immediately. And the fact that Michigan has been machine-like with their offense. And you look at the board, and it's 38-zip, and now you're starting inside your own 10 again. He drops back to throw, though, and he's going to go deep down the middle for Graham. Overshot him by a couple yards. Coming up on Valvoline Halftime 2000, John Saunders is back in action with Terry Bowden. They'll have scores and highlights from around the country. Nice to have John back with us. And we'll also go out of bounds with college football historian Beano Cook. Some interesting scores John and Terry will have for you from the Big Ten, and some ongoing scores that could open your eyes a little bit about this mid-October Saturday.
Few surprises, not only today, but also this season that we'll get into a little bit later.
Yep. 2nd and 10 back at the 9-yard line. You have to be a little bit careful here not to give up another quick one by the opposition on a fumble or an interception. The pass intended for the Bull fullback Jeremy Johnson is incomplete.
Threw that the only place he could throw it, and that is away.
Well, we talked about everything going right for Michigan. Just about everything's gone wrong for Indiana today. First the holding penalty, and then the block punt that Marquise Walker scooped and took 15 yards for a touchdown. There's that play action I was talking about that Rose recovered for a fumble recovery that led to another Michigan touchdown, and thus it is 38-0. The two block punts, actually one was a block punt and one was a quick kick that hit his offensive tackle in the butt, but it goes pretty much as the same kind of thing. And Randall L. now, quarterback sweep going nowhere, lost a yard as Brackens and Footer there.
Nothing there. Just this defense is just too tough. I mean, when you expect something, they knew the option was coming. Backed up in your own territory, you don't want to make any mistakes.
Now the defense is playing like they did 2 weeks ago against Wisconsin instead of how they played in the second half against Purdue.
As bad as Indiana looks, with what has gone on in the Big Ten today, this is just great stuff for Michigan.
Yep.
They're coming out. Their offense is looking good. Their defense is good. Their special teams got a block punt for a touchdown.
Walker hiding behind that line again, wanting to bring it after Hamry, and they almost got there again. Bellamy on the other end of the 45, and he'll have some room to work. Ronald Bellamy back to the 42-yard line. He got 13 on the return, and great field position again for the Michigan offense. You see Bellamy with that wrap on his right wrist, has a ligament problem in his thumb. Actually had a cast on this week at practice, but they say he's one of the toughest kids on the Michigan team, and he's going to be out there either way. They've got it wrapped for him, and he has not had any trouble fielding those punts. Bob and I were wondering how he'd do with his first one. He's done well with all of them.
Carr was telling us yesterday that he's a good kid. He wants to be out there. He doesn't want to wear a cast. He just wants to tape it up.
7 different receivers Drew's used, 11 out of 15, 185 and a touchdown. And off play action, he might want some more. Sets and throws deep for Terrell, who's out there. Got him! Touchdown! A beautiful strike. Henson to Terrell, 43 yards. You cannot do it any better than that.
Somewhere down the road, Michigan will be struggling to score points, and they'll think back to this game when everything comes so easily. How did we do it then, and we're struggling later on down the road?
You know, that coverage was not that bad. That was a perfectly thrown pass. It shows the grace and the speed and the size of Terrell. You just can't see him come up any better than that.
Well, it's two talented guys hooking up. Drew Henson and David Terrell. They both came in together 3 years ago. Terrell's out here. He's just going to run a deep post, and the quarterback Henson's just going to roll away from him. Little play action fake. Throws it down the field. Now right there, he's covered short. You got to throw the ball long, and by throwing it long, gives him man the chance. That ball was thrown perfectly.
Boy, was it ever. And what a great catch on the other end.
Yeah, it was good coverage. He threw it the only place he could. And look at Terrell just reach out for this ball.
That's pretty. That is pretty.
That's two pretty good football players right there.
Yeah.
Henson to Terrell.
So now he's got almost 250 yards throwing and 2 touchdowns. Almost the same kind of numbers he had in the first half against Purdue last week. Henson had 194 yards and 3 scores.
Well, they've scored what, five straight possessions.
In fact, 35 points in this second quarter ties a school record for the most points in a quarter. And there's a guy that's doing some of it. Terrell. 2 touchdowns. Remember, Walker has a touchdown on a block punt and then had a 75-yarder that he didn't score on.
Almost.
So both receivers are eating up huge chunks of the turf here today. And that ball drops free. It is scooped on one hop by A.C. Carter. That's a live ball, and nobody called fair catch, and they almost had another disaster, did Indiana.
Well, what Michigan is doing is they're not kicking to Graham, number 19, the backup wide receiver, who has 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns for Indiana. So they want to keep the ball away from him. That's why they're kicking it short.
So Cam Cameron gets his offense around him, and it'll send him out with 2 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in the half. Antoine Randall, you know, his numbers are not that bad today. They're just being overshadowed so much by the Michigan offense that has done virtually everything right.
Yep.
Gaddis in motion to the far side. They play fake off the shotgun, wanted to throw back the screen to Lewis, and they got it. He did get one block down the sideline. Lewis stepped out at about the 31-yard line.
How did he get this ball away?
He had to throw it right by his ear or between his hands.
Yeah, Kashima was there. He had to throw it right between his arms.
I thought he was going to get gobbled up.
Watch 95. A little fake. 95 is going to be chasing him right here. I don't know how he got that ball through his arms.
I don't either.
Around his arms, under his arms.
And actually picked up 8 yards. Second down at 2. Total yardage, Michigan 314 in this first half. This time, the quick opening little draw out of the shotgun gets a first down for Brian Lewis. Wayne Patman hit on the tackle as we're down to 1:49 remaining in the half. Well, after Major League Soccer's most exciting season yet, ABC Sports brings you the biggest game of the year. It's the MLS Cup 2000. Tony Meola and the Kansas City Wizards taking on Anton Razov and the Chicago Fire. That's tomorrow, live 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 Pacific, only on ABC. Antoine Randall on the roll, on the run, and the Fire incomplete. Intended for Gaddis at midfield. Couldn't quite hold that one. Versi made a diving attempt at it in front of Jeremy Lesueur, but it's incomplete.
I don't know what Lloyd Carr is going to say to these guys at halftime. You know, last week they blew a big lead down at Purdue. They scored 28 points in the first half, only 3 in the second half, and got beat by 1 at Purdue. But I'm sure he's not going to. He said, you know, we played well in the first half. You know,
I'd go in my office and have a cup of coffee if I was him.
I'd say, nice job, guys.
Let's do it again.
Maybe I should get mad and mean at you all week again, every week.
Lewis, nice run again across the 40, out to about the 41-yard line. Lewis, a compact tailback, He's about 5'8" or 9, 200 and almost 10 pounds. A distinct difference between he and LeBron Williams, who is a tall tailback.
This kid's just a true, I mean, redshirt freshman.
Looks like he's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, he got a lot of quicks about him, a lot of speed.
So we approach a minute. Indiana with a third down. They're 3 out of 7 on the day. And 4 to go here. Graham in motion. Loose ball again. Antoine picks it up, but he's in a heap of trouble. And Kashima and Foot are all over him. And Indiana's going to have to give it back to Michigan.
Watch the center as he tries to snap the ball and then reach to his right side. Watch the center, number 74. He tries to snap it and move to his right at the same time. And that, when you do that, you don't finish the snap. You don't get the ball up, and you drop the football.
Oh, with all fairness to Osika, as we were saying, he was a tight end last year, and he said that idea of having some big guy breathing on you and trying to throw a lock as soon as you snap it didn't appeal to him that much. He's doing his best, but he's still learning that position, I think. As Hamry shanks one out of bounds, and they're going to mark it way up at the 40-yard line. Next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. More great regional college football action. Many of you will see Michigan and Michigan State getting together right here. That'll be a big one after what's going on so far today. Florida State, Virginia get together. Virginia, one of only 2 teams to beat Florida State in ACC play. USC and Stanford, and a Big 12 game that will determine who's playing whom when today's duties are done. Check the local listings for the game and the time in your area.
How's that Oklahoma K-State game going?
17-7 the last time I saw it, but I know one thing, John and Terry will have that one updated for us in about 12 seconds. Straight up the middle, and Ryan Beard almost took that one to the barn. 14 yards. As Bob says, you got to wait your turn. I think everybody's going to have their turn before the day's over.
Yeah, right up between the guard center gap. You know, everything seems to be going right this week for the Michigan Wolverines.
You cannot make the alumni more happy at homecoming than what those guys in the winged helmets have done so far in the first half. Michigan 45, Indiana nothing. John Saunders and Terry Bowden from Times Square Stadium when we come back.
Coach Durango.
Around the Michigan Wolverines, their fans, they take the field and out of the tunnel to start the second half, 45-0. Welcome back to the Big House, everybody. Brad Nessler and Bob Greasy. I don't know if we've seen a team dominate another team through the first 30 minutes like we've seen here today.
I'm trying to think back in my career if I ever was in this situation. And,
you hope not.
I think I was on the other end one or two times. But you know, Lloyd Carr this week, as opposed to last week, probably the speech was the same thing. He said, you know, let's go out and play good in the second half, and don't give it up. You know, his friend's on the other side of the field, Cam Cameron. I don't think he wants to embarrass him in front of a lot of people. But I do think that what Lloyd wants to do is come out here and play well at the beginning of the second half. Maybe keep the first unit in maybe a half of the third quarter.
Drew Henson, his first half was perfect. Though.
Yeah, and then put the rest of the guys in.
Henson's numbers 12-16, 2 touchdowns. A beauty to Terrell late in the second quarter that could have been a prettier looking pass and catch. And there's Lloyd Carr, who admitted that this was one of the toughest weeks he's ever had to go through, and probably put his troops through one of the toughest weeks they've had to go through. But boy, they responded in the first 2 quarters today. Tough start for Antoine Randall, who had high hopes of coming in here and pulling off an upset after the way he played against Michigan a year ago. And today it hasn't gone that well. We were just talking about this guy. We talk about graceful and fluid and fast and big and good hands and you name it.
The whole package right there. He's a true junior. It's his 3rd year at Michigan. Drew Henson came in the same time. In fact, Henson, when they were recruiting, called Terrell and encouraged him to come to Michigan once Henson decided that he was coming. So and Marquise Walker on the other side is a junior also. So these guys could all be back at Michigan next year. Probably will be. I think that's the way to look at it.
Certainly the way the Michigan fans hope to look at it.
Yeah.
Darren Graham waiting on Hayden Epstein's kick to open the 3rd quarter. And a good deep kick. A.C. Carter from a yard in. And Carter tagged as he hit the 15 and he bounced his way out near the 20-yard line. Swanee.
Well, Brad, Bob, you know, I'm not sure that David Terrell has made up his mind whether he'll come back or not, but I think we have to appreciate and enjoy him while he is here now. He is a big receiver, and in today's game, he isn't even using all of the skills. He makes a good move there and then creates a cushion, but today's ball game, he is just demonstrating his speed and athletic ability and to do whatever is necessary to make the catch. He's not showing you everything he has, but he is giving his football team what they need, an open receiver in the end zone.
The last 2 times that the 3 of us have seen him in person, he has lit up the field. The Orange Bowl last year and then the first half today. Randall L. looking for a receiver down the middle. His tight end. Chris Dillon makes the catch, pick up a 3 or 4. Larry Foote in on the tackle. So we take a look at our Morgan Stanley Dean Witter first half statistics. Turnovers, even though it's only 2, remember that block punt that became a touchdown. All in one fell swoop, and then the fumble recovery and the interception both leading to scores.
The drive where the drive are starting, Michigan starting on their own 40, getting great field position, getting a lot of help from Indiana.
3 wideouts for Antoine from the 24-yard line. Fires down the middle, tips, and incomplete. Bracken's got a hand on it. Nice deep drop by the linebacker. Got a paw on the way.
Something I noticed right off the bat, Indiana keeping Randall L. in the pocket on the first 2 plays in the second half.
Now for a normal college quarterback, you look at those numbers and you'd be fairly happy with them. I know that he isn't, and they're dwarfed by what Drew Henson's done on the other side.
Yeah, he averages 175 yards a game passing and almost 100 yards a game rushing. That's his average.
He's got trips to the left side, all 3 wide receivers up there to the top of your screen. He takes a half roll that way and fires deep on the sideline for Gaddis. Almost intercepted. Dwayne Patman laid out. He says he's got it. The official says like that isn't the case.
I don't know. The official was on the far side. Let's take a look at this.
Now 4th down.
Double coverage. Patman sees the ball all the way.
Boy,
I don't know if it hit the ground or not. It may have hit his arm.
No, Bob, I was standing right across from him and it definitely hit the ground. It was a great effort, but the ball out of control just bounced on the turf.
I like it when we have Swanee in the right spot at the right time.
The striped shirt on him. Let's go.
Yeah. Bellamy. Oh, did he get tagged as soon as he caught that? 41-yard punt and then a hello from Marcus Floyd on the special teams for the stop. So 13:52 remaining third quarter and the first possession offensively for Michigan, as they're going to start just outside their own 35, and they've got to get it up to that 45 where our 1st and 10 marks presented by Pacific Life. And Anthony Thomas is going to cross that line and then some out to midfield. Got to pick up a 15.
We talk about Backus and Hutchinson in that offensive line. The left side doing a great job.
So a first down after the 15-yard run by Thomas at the Indiana 49-yard line. Henson, the play fake, wants to throw a screen back to his tight end and does, but a nice job by Justin Smith, who we had a chance to visit with last night, and he is a very, very bright young linebacker and made the play there at a big loss. Justin, the Big Ten Player of the Week against Iowa, had 4 sacks.
Yes, he did.
And a chemistry major. And we enjoyed our chat with him last night.
He leads the Big Ten in sacks and in tackles for loss. He's a linebacker that obviously blitzes a lot to sack guys behind the line of scrimmage.
Second down at 17. Henson, the draw play to Thomas, straight up the middle. Anthony Thomas, another big gainer, down to the 44-yard line. 12 more. Drew Henson mixed it up with his receivers and where he threw them in the first half, Bob.
He did, and let's take a look. Nothing in the middle, but you see the deep passes further than 15 yards downfield. 2 touchdowns, and those were both to David Terrell. Threw some on the outside, and then the screen pass, 1-for-1, is a -7 in yardage.
A manageable third down now. He comes up rifling it to Terrell, who wheels and deals, and he's got a first down. Out of bounds at the 32-yard line. That's just pitch and catch, and then get what you can after the catch. Pickup of 11.
Yeah, he's always looking for the extra yardage, is Terrell. Here he is here. He's just going to run a little slant.
He came in 9th in the career spots for Michigan receiving, and 8th in number of receptions. He's added to all the totals today, including the touchdowns, which he was 7th all time. Here's Anthony Thomas cutting outside. That's a run down to the 21-yard line, another pickup of 11. So now Thomas is just gashing him behind that offense.
I'm gashing this telestrator over here too. I'm beating on it, Steve. Every time I start drawing, it starts moving. I'm going to beat it up, and then it's going to work for me.
We got to get Hutchinson back.
Hutchinson Backus, come on up. Come on down. That's good blocking on that left side, and good division by Anthony Thomas.
Just keeps doing his job. And penalty markers. We haven't seen many markers today, especially on the Michigan side of things.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
That's a first penalty against the Michigan offense today. And the coaches will be happy about that.
They haven't done anything wrong.
Right.
And this will probably be the last possession for Henson and his mates if they get this ball in the end zone, because like I say, Carr, and I don't think he wants to embarrass his buddy on the other side.
Tight end in motion, Jopru. Here's Thomas going the other way. Anthony Thomas. He's just taking it in chunks now.
Hutchinson, number 76, the left guard out there in front of him.
Scott Gennard.
All right, so big number 76 is going to come from behind the defense, the right side of our screen, right there, right in the middle. The thing I like about Hutchinson, he doesn't leave his feet. He gets in there and then he gathers himself. He gets there quickly, gathers himself, and watches the way the guy's going to go, and then makes his block.
Makes it well. Second down. Along 2. Blitz coming. Henson rolls. Walker's out there in the end zone, but he's going to keep it. He'll get a first down on the scramble.
Yeah. Similar play to the plays that he threw the long touchdown pass to David Terrell. This time called it within the 20-yard line, so there's not much yardage to get open. Nobody down there, so he just tucks it under his arm and runs it in.
Obviously a great athlete, being a pro baseball player and a college football quarterback to boot. And he got his team a 1st and goal now, just outside the 8-yard line.
Talking to him yesterday about what he thought he might end up doing. And talk about that a little later.
Thomas hit in the backfield, still bounces off and gets positive yardage. Got a couple. Jameel Frink on the tackle.
You know, Bob, I'm watching the game, and I understand the relationship between Carr, you know, and Cameron Cam on the other side. But my concern here is, doesn't he have to leave his first unit in if he wants to teach them the lesson of playing a complete ball game, which they didn't do last week? Yeah, it's a hard choice.
You know as well as I do that that's what he wants to do. Yeah. But he can't do it. You know, I mean, if the game was 28-7, sure, go out there and score and score and score. But when you're 45-0, you've got a buddy or a friend on the other side of the field. You're not going to embarrass him.
Thomas, touchdown. 6 rushes for 60 yards and a score on that drive for Anthony Thomas. That might be all we'll see of him today as well. That's his 3rd touchdown on the ground. Armstrong, the fullback, got a nice lead block, and Anthony Thomas made it look easy. With the extra point, and with a 3-touchdown day, Anthony Thomas has tied Ty Wheatley in the all-time Michigan record books. 47 touchdowns.
Online brokers have a game. It's called Who's Got the Cheapest Trade. So you spend time comparing prices instead of comparing resources. Judging how good the deal is rather than judging how good the information is. Investing isn't a game. You need to trade online with trusted advice and better information. Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter. Move your money. Get well connected.
Your turn.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. Chili's baby back. Barbecue sauce.
Volunteers, we all have regular jobs. We can be coming from anywhere. We get a call, we need to get to the fire right now. Things that are going through our mind are the hazards we might face so that when we get on scene, we're ready to act. We need a truck that can handle anything we throw at it. 4 full-size doors gets us in and out quickly. Fits 6 people in the cab and there's a ton of room for cargo. Great truck.
First of all, I'm not denying that I used cellular. It was a very experimental time. Someone passed it to me, I put it to my ear, but I did not talk, I only listened. Even then, all I heard was static. But I have been free and clear ever since. I even chose long distance so I could reach out to young people across the nation and warn them of even casual cellular use.
The new Sprint PCS Free and Clear plan, $29.99 for 500 minutes, all with nationwide long distance.
Introducing Chili's baby back ribs. To go.
I think it's going to be about a yard short. Bring it up 4th and 1.
Get in, get out, get on with your life.
Two-time captain out of Coral Springs, Florida, along with his buddy next to him from Norcross, Georgia. Hutchinson and Backus both maybe on their way to All-American years, and they had an All-American drive opening holes for Anthony Thomas on that last scoring march. Nice run back out to the 30. A.C. Carter.
Good little offensive line. Look to the right side of the quarterback. Hutchinson and Backus and those guys. Look at Backus there.
There's Armstrong filling the hole, the fullback.
Yeah, blocking on number 40. Those guys, both Backus and Hutchinson, 4-year starters. They played on the championship team in '97 that went to the Rose Bowl and won the championship. There's a good look at them.
They protected Brian through their
Yes, they did. I talked to
early
Brian
stage of their
about
career.
that this morning, as a matter of fact. He said they were green, they were young. He said, but you could tell they were going to be good.
And they are. Randall L. incomplete, intended for Darren Graham. He was well covered.
Randall L's pass intended for Darren Graham, incomplete. Eric Bracken's the defender.
So that'll bring up a 2nd and 10. They need to get out to the 41-yard line to pick up the 1st and 10. And our 1st and 10 line presented by Pacific Life. And you can see the spot they've got to get to. And they have yet to get to the end zone, which is brought to you by the Michigan defense.
Yeah.
2nd and 10. Williams off the left side. And that's his best run of the day. Got about 9 and got close to our 1st and 10 stripe. A little bit short, though. Williams had over 800 yards rushing last year and was honorable mention in the Big Ten. He's a good receiver out of the backfield.
Catches the ball very well.
Missed last week's game with an abscess tooth.
Yeah.
He only had 1 carry before he couldn't take the pain anymore. Today, 14 yards on 4 carries for Williams. 2 tight end set.
Indiana came in 2 and 3. They could have very easily have been 4 and 1. Close losses to NC State and to Kentucky.
Fullback got the 1st down. And inside the 45, out to the 46-yard line as we check in with John Saunders at Times Square Stadium. John?
Well, Brad, 1948 was the last time Oregon beat UCLA, Washington, and USC in the same season. It could happen this year. Joey Harrington across the middle to Lakari Collins. 21-7 is the lead with about 12 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Brad.
I can hear him now. Oh, the Ducks are flying.
Ooh, Oregon. You're talking about my old partner,
Your
Keith
old
Jackson.
partner, Keith. That's right.
Yeah, I think Oregon's for real.
Yeah, I guess so.
The only question is, could they win on the road?
1st down, toss in and out of the hands. Little bit high, but catchable. Henry Frazier just couldn't hold on to it. Well, America's coolest bad boy, Charlie Sheen, is the newest to join Heather Locklear on the season premiere of Spin City. That's Wednesday, 9:30, 8:30 Central on ABC. One of my favorite shows, and I got to watch just to see if he can fill the shoes of Michael J. Fox.
That'll be big shoes to fill right
sure
there.
Will. Big little shoes, I guess.
Yeah, big little ones.
Antoine Randall L. has missed 7 of his last 9 attempts. Dances a bit, found his tight end, and hooks up with a tight end to the 46-yard line. Bobby Brandt. Nice hit by Victor Hobson. That's a big target to hit. Those tight ends of Indiana are 286 and 294.
That look in Hobson's eyes once he got up, he says, boy, that wasn't any fullback I was tackling. That's a 285, 90-pound tight end. Hobson has led the Wolverines in tackles, number 6.
Boom.
Whoa.
A 3rd down, a short 2 now. Antoine may take off with this one himself. Nope, they'll keep it on the ground. Williams, I don't know. I think he's short by a couple feet. Hobson made another tackle. By the way, on that last pass by Antoine Randall L., you talk about joining some exclusive company. Only the 2nd player in NCAA history to rush for 2,000 and pass for 5,000 or more. And if you look at that Brian Mitchell and you say, is that the guy in the NFL? Yep, that's the guy in the NFL. Redskins first, and now very productive still with the Philadelphia Eagles. Right. So
and Randall's got another year.
Yeah, he can break all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And as we said, will probably become easily part of the 200-point club in both rushing and passing as well, as Rick Lee did for this Michigan team. 4th and short. And Johnson's got a 1st down. Jeremy Johnson listed him at 285, and that might be being gracious to him.
A guy that big shouldn't wear a number like 1. I mean, it just doesn't fit. He's 285 pounds. I mean, anybody that needs a number like 99. I mean, this number 1 goes to a guy that's 5'7" and 160.
Well, he made a deal with Cam Cameron. Said, Coach, I'll come in the weight you want me if you let me wear number 1. Cam said, okay, and then he came in about 30 pounds overweight. By that time, they already had the jersey made for him.
Yeah, that jersey wouldn't fit a 5'7" guy.
I don't think so. He'd be swimming in it. At the 43, first down. Randall in trouble, throws on the run, and there slipping is Darren Graham. Tried to make a cut and went down on a knee, actually for about a half-yard loss. Let's check in with John Saunders in New York again. John.
Brad, that loud sound you might hear is people jumping off the K-State bandwagon. Josh Heupel here to Antoine Savage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 missed tackles. He takes it 74 yards for the touchdown. Kansas State is stunned right now, down 38-14. There's still plenty of time left, but that might not be good for them. Back to you, Brad.
Wow.
Is Oklahoma State for real or what? Back-to-back, they beat Texas and Kansas State.
Throttled Texas last week, and now the Sooners doing it to Kansas State today. How big will that make their game against Nebraska on the 28th of October?
Huge. That game is in Norman.
Right.
Nebraska has to go to Oklahoma.
The unbeatens are falling. Ohio State already lost today. And now Kansas State may be the next to go. What, there was 7 in the top 25. That was all that was left today?
I think that was right.
And TCU stays that way because they were idle.
Yep.
And they'll probably sneak in the top 10 with the upsets so far, are the ones that look like they're in the making.
I don't know about that, but
well, I don't know. They're 11th.
Well, I know, but I don't know whether they should, is what I'm saying.
I agree with you there. I agree with you, partner.
Here's the remainings. K-State could be out, the next one out. Clemson, what a nice surprise that is. Tommy Bowden over there doing a great job.
Oklahoma, they might just shoot their way right to the top 5 and pass a few people en route if they hold that
should,
lead.
but I don't think TCU should be up there.
Randall wanted to throw back across the grain, and now he gets what he can and goes out of bounds.
It was a screen back over to his left side, so all of his players went over there, and then when it broke down, he didn't have anything left over here.
I never did see an intended receiver. I saw 4 linemen over there. I guess he didn't see one either.
No, that's why he kept it and just, he says, my line's over there, but all these Michigan guys are over here. I got about 6 guys. I can't outrun all these guys. Let me get out of bounds.
It's amazing that he got what he got out of that. Second down. 8 to go on the 27-yard line. 11th play of the drive. Indiana still looking for points, having come in as the 11th highest scoring team in the country. Here's a late pitch to Williams in the open field. And he's got it down to the 12-yard line. That's the best run on the outside for Williams today.
You can see why this Indiana offense has been productive, averaging 35 points a game from behind the defense. It's a little option. Tight end does a nice job. You option off the end man. That's Foot, number 17. Indiana came in averaging 274 yards rushing per game. And
first in the Big Ten, 6th in the country.
Oh, yeah.
This is the deepest they've been into Michigan territory. First down at the 13-yard line of the Wolverines. Trying to snap the shutout right now. Randall looks across the middle, fires to the end zone. Almost intercepted by Dwayne Patman.
A bad throw there. There was nobody open.
It was intended. The closest guy was Versi Gaddis, but Bob's right. There was 3 Wolverines around him.
Everybody down there with a white shirt on had a Michigan Wolverine standing right next to him. Double coverage there.
That was actually Frazier, not Gaddis. Henry Frazier. And Gaddis is out in front of him.
There's Gaddis over number 2. He was covered. Poor throw, one of the few today by Randall.
2nd and 10 at the 13. On the option. The pitch at the last possible moment. Williams is going nowhere there. Both the running back and the quarterback paid the price for waiting to get hit.
That's just good defense.
Yep.
Good option play. You have to play assignment football. Jim Herman, he's seen this before. And Randall L., we said earlier in the Dell Game Solutions, contain him and you'll win the game. And they have done that very nicely today.
Randall L. now just 50% of his passes for a little over 100 yards. Still has not thrown a touchdown. 14th play of the drive. They want to get something here with 3rd down and 9. And under 4.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. And we got a whistle and timeout taken by the Hoosiers. So we'll take one as well. 4:22 to go in the 3rd. 52-0 Wolverine.
What would happen if an SUV were raised by a family of sports cars?
Zoom, zoom.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Ha. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Zoom.
Introducing the 200 horsepower Mazda Tribute. The SUV with the soul of a sports car.
Big on taste, but low on cash? Try the new 99-cent BK Cravers menu from Burger King. 8 mouth-watering choices at an unbelievable price. Like the delicious flame-broiled Bullseye Barbecue Deluxe Burger. Or cheesy mozzarella sticks. Just 99 cents every day at Burger King, where you can get great-tasting food every day. Got the urge?
They're the largest creatures on Earth. They've adapted and evolved with strength and determination. The kind of strength that helps the Pacific Life family of companies manage more than $300 billion for its clients. And determination that has guided Pacific Life for 130 years. Size, strength, longevity, offering annuities, insurance and investments. Use the power of Pacific Life.
Back in Ann Arbor, it's 3rd down and 9, Indiana. Randall L. 50% on the day. Drew Henson 14 of 18. Near perfection, much like the first half of last week. Randall L. in trouble. Antoine trying to scramble out of that trouble. Heads to the sideline, throws a stiff arm, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Well short of the first down. Charles Drake came over to make the hit.
This Wolverine defense doing a great job of coverage first in the secondary, and then when Randall L. pulls it down to take off running, there's not one guy there, but 2, and it's a good thing because he could probably out-dodge and outrun one guy.
Cam Cameron, who was never a doubt, sent in his tight end to go for it here with the play from the bench. Trailing by 52 points. A field goal is only something that will get the goose egg off the scoreboard. But they're looking for a touchdown. On 4th and 6. They can get a first down, as you see, right at the 3-yard line. Randall L. Flushed, throws, tipped by Larry Footer. It would have been a touchdown. The tight end was open, and Foot made a diving deflection. So Michigan takes it over, and they are in command in front of the hometown fans for homecoming, 52-0.
Looking for some Disney magic? National Car Rental knows the best place to go. The 45 years of magic celebration at Disneyland Park. And as the official car rental company of Disneyland Resort in California, National gets you on the road and to the park fast. For family experience you'll never forget. So what are you waiting for? Let's go to the 45 years of magic celebration at Disneyland with National Car Rental.
Trading online, huh?
I do a bit of that myself, but I'm starting to get a little fed up. It turns out the cheap commission rate doesn't take effect till after 75 trades. What's with that, you know? I'd switch. What's the point? I mean, these online brokers, they're all the same. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Actually, I have no idea.
Go to Ameritrade.com. Ameritrade. It's how you get somewhere on Wall Street.
What are you doing? It's a perfectly good Budweiser. Yeah, what do you think this stuff is for?
What the heck is wrong with you?
Kicker.
Hey, how's it going? See the game?
Michigan State at Michigan, or other regional action, next Saturday on ABC.
His day drew to a close on last scoring drive for Michigan. Mr. Henson's done with the headset on, and John Navarre in at quarterback. All across, outside, and a penalty marker flies in late as Cross got almost 10 yards before the penalty, and might be a holding call that'll bring it back.
Michigan scored on its last 6 possessions, scored touchdowns on his last 6 possessions, and Henson was in there.
He's just getting in a groove now. Took a while with the injury, and then starting only his 3rd game. And how impressive has he been last week in the first half against Purdue, and then again today?
And he's only going to get better.
Yep.
You know, he's got that baseball career that he's looking at. He's got, you know, he's going to be an outstanding player finishing this year and then another year in college, just getting better to better.
We're talking with Hutchinson and those guys about his presence in the huddle. As you see John Navarre's numbers, he started the season when Drew Henson had that foot injury and was brilliant in the opener. Threw 4 touchdown passes. Here's Cross again, and got out to about the 9-yard line. But in talking with the offensive line for Michigan about the presence in the huddle of Drew Henson, and they immediately mentioned Brian Griese, and they said, well, you know, he's not like Brian was. He's not quite like Brady was. But every week, he's a little more savvy and a little more confident in there. And Hutchinson said, and when he gets the whole thing going, is he going to be the package?
Easy killer.
And, you know, that just takes time. You can't expect when you only started 3 ball games that you're going to be immediately take those seniors and be the leader.
Right. And he's in there with Hutchinson and Backus, who are 5th-year seniors. And this kid, Henson, has just been there for his 3rd year. And he feels a little intimidated.
Cross broke a tackle and got out to a first down out at about the 25-yard line.
I mean, I don't care how good you do, or if you're a baseball player and you've signed a lot of money, a baseball contract, still when you walk in that huddle on the campus of the University of Michigan, and you got Backus and Hutchinson and Brandt there, guys that have been there for 5 years and have been on a national championship team at 97, you know, you need to be the boss, but you just don't take it over right away.
Michigan, the ball at the 20.
We also asked him if being the Michigan quarterback is everything he had hoped or dreamed about. And he said it's capable of being, but maybe not necessarily right now, because when he came in here, he thought he was going to come in and take the first snap of his first freshman game and be the starter from the get-go, but he had to earn his stripes, as did Tom Brady and Brian Griese, and the list goes back and back and back.
It's the Michigan way.
Yeah, it is. Hasn't thrown an interception in his last 114 attempts dating back to last season.
Now, he's going to be good, and you know, you ask him, which way are you leaning about baseball? Are you going to play baseball? Are you going to play football? You can't do both, and he's non-committal, and I think that's the right approach. Just play him out, play the baseball this year, play football, but if he plays well next year and is drafted in the first round, if he's drafted in the first round of the NFL draft, I think that's pretty strong, that he's going to be pretty successful.
Here's what he talked about, his future plans with us.
I don't worry about my decision. I try to enjoy the moment rather than sit back and wonder, shoot, I'm going to have to make the decision. What's it going to be? I try to look at it and say, geez, I got a great opportunity to play 2 sports while I'm at this age, and I try to make the most of it, because I realize shortly it'll be over with.
It's a matter of if you want to have a helmet sitting on your mantle or a baseball bat in the mansion at your fireplace.
And you know, Brad, I think it's a shorter trip and a more direct route and a more sure route if you're a #1 draft choice in the NFL to go to the NFL and make it, rather than go to professional baseball, get in the minor leagues, AA, AAA. A lot of those guys never make it to the professional ranks, and if they do, they're never a big success as he would be if he were a #1 draft choice in the NFL draft.
You never have to ride a bus in the NFL.
That's well said.
Second down, short 5.
He's ridden some buses already.
Yes, he has. Here's a counter. Perry puts his head down, and he's brought down at about the 47-yard line. College football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Mazda. Mazda, get in and be moved. Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, move your money, get well connected. National Car Rental. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. And Pacific Life. Annuities, insurance, investments. Use the power of Pacific Life. Beautiful day on campus and in the big house. Michigan Stadium. There's 110,909 of our close friends here with us today. Along with Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan, and yours truly, Brad Nessler, on homecoming number 100 for the Wolverines. Perry bangs his way off the left side down to the 45-yard line of Indiana. Frink made the tackle there. Michigan's converted its last 6 third downs. It's just, it doesn't matter who's in there right now. They're getting the job done.
Well, this is a great opportunity for the offense to play some of the backups. Not only the backup running backs and receivers, but the offensive linemen too. The guys that are going to be taking the places of these fifth-year seniors. Pape, the left tackle, 77, is in there now for Backus.
Here comes a blitz from the secondary. Cross can't handle the swing pass from Navarre out of the backfield. Pretty good pressure up the middle by Tony Brown. That forced that pass to be thrown a little bit awry. And we've got 17 seconds left in the third quarter.
I was talking to Terry Malone, the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach for Michigan before the game, and I was kidding him. I said, what are you going to do next year when you lose all these offensive linemen? And I said, you have to go back to coaching. He says, well, we've got some good guys. He's very high on the redshirt freshman, this kid Pape, and Solomon on the other side.
The cupboard won't be empty. It just won't be filled with food that's as old. Cross brought down from behind by Devin Schaefer. And that is probably going to do the third quarter in. 3 quarters that have belonged to those fifth-year seniors in this Michigan team. End of 3. It is Michigan 52-0. An ABC Sports presentation of college football will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
What would happen if an SUV were raised by a family of sports cars?
Zoom, zoom.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Introducing the 200 horsepower Mazda Tribute. The SUV with the soul of a sports car.
Long easy 316 Delta Bravo, flight at 25 north runway.
They get hired by companies like AT&T, GE, and Ford. They get training in over 200 real-world jobs. And they get it in the Army. That's right, the Army.
Don't miss Time Magazine's Critics' Choice on its regular night.
I didn't refuse treatment. I refused treatment from you.
Gideon's Crossing, Wednesday at 10/9 Central on ABC.
What's your biggest concern about buying a used vehicle?
Was it well maintained?
Were the miles hard miles?
Am I buying someone else's problems?
At Northern Motors, we take those worries away. You get a 6-month, 6,000-mile warranty on all major components. And here's the clincher. If you're not completely satisfied with your purchase in the first 30 days, bring it back, and we'll give you your money back. Only at Northern Motors, where we make the deal worth the drive.
What does it take to be Miss America for the new millennium? It takes millions of viewers, Tons of talent, hundreds of smiles, 51 contestants.
All competing for the chance to win the title of a lifetime.
5 guys, 2 hosts, 1 crown, and lots of lip gloss. Miss America Live, hosted by Donnie and Marie Osmond, with a special musical performance from O-Town. Tonight, 8/7 Central on ABC.
You're watching ABC 5 Calumet, 28 Marquette, Cable Channel 10.
When the caps are on and the helmets are off, you know that you've had a good day.
That's for sure.
I don't know if they got a hat big enough for that guy. So starting the 4th quarter, 52-0 Michigan. Navarre back to throw. Plenty of time. Deep middle. Bellamy. First down. Down to the 29-yard line. And even with that wrist wrapped and that thumb taped, picks up 19 on a 3rd and 12.
This kid Navarre, a redshirt freshman, came in and played very well. Carried this Michigan team, got him through a couple of tough games, and has been very impressive.
I know he was a guy that Wisconsin was after, a native of Wisconsin, redshirt freshman. Threw those 4 touchdown passes to tie a school record in the opener against Bowling Green. And a tough run down to the 25 by Ryan Beard as we check in at Times Square Stadium in New York and John Saunders.
We're at time for the Burger King play of the day from the NC State North Carolina game. Corin Robinson to Brian Peterson, and lofts it to the guy who had the ball first, Philip Rivers. Touchdown for the freshman, receiving, throwing them as well, and clinging to a 24-20 lead. That's your Burger King play of the day. Brad.
Well, with all the sidebars there, with Michael Cain being an ex-head coach and offensive coordinator for one school, Chuck Amato, the new head coach at NC State, and they put up quite an impressive performance this year. Their only loss to Clemson, and that was a struggle for Clemson to win.
Talk about surprise teams. You know, early on in the season we mentioned NC State as they jumped out of the box 4-0. Then they went to Clemson and lost one. Barely lost it.
I think it was 34-27 was the final in that one.
But Clemson, another team which was a little bit of a surprise this year, especially when they're ranked 4th in the nation.
Absolutely. Everybody thought they'd be pretty good, but nobody thought they'd be ranked that high this quick. Here's Cross out of the backfield inside the 10. It's 1st and goal Michigan again. Walter Cross, the junior out of Fort Washington, Maryland, got a head of steam out there, got a nice lead block. Bellamy helped the cause and pick up of 19.
And when things are going like this, it just, like I said before, I mean, it's easy. It looks easy. It's not easy, but it's this is what you work for in practice offensively, is to get everything clicking on at the same time. Receivers, running game, offensive line.
1st and goal Michigan inside the Indiana 5. Loose ball. Navarre picks it up. And with that big 6'6" body, got about 2 yards just falling down. Justin Smith makes sure he doesn't go any further. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
See who the center was. It's Mass, 72. Solomon, 74. Couldn't really tell. Goodwin is the center, I guess.
A lot of those backup guys, as you said, are in there. Bell and Cummings, the wide receivers. 16th play of the Michigan drive. Blitz coming again, and again the ball is loose on the ground. And let's see who's covered it. It's still going to be Michigan ball.
You saw the linebacker sneaking into the line, the center. That gets the center's attention, and he may snap it a little bit quick. Now that Navarre and he are talking. Let's watch. See him sneaking in there? It looked like it affected 78 Goodwin, the center, that he didn't get the ball back before he stood up to start blocking.
You know the field's slippery, but
of course I'm always going to blame it on the line. I guess.
The center's butt shouldn't be slippery at this point. On 3rd and goal. Here's Cross trying to get to the corner. Nice job by the Indiana defense to stretch it out, and he won't get there. Joe Gonzalez came up from the secondary, made the force, number 25, and it's 4th and goal, and the field goal unit will come out. So they got it down close, and then a couple of mishandled exchanges, and they're going to have to go for 3. Epstein 6 out of 13.
Second field goal
on the year. This is going to be about a 24-yard attempt right in there. Junior California native who won the game last year in the final 18 seconds. Today, this is just a nice, easy chip shot with a 52-point lead. Just take a big, deep breath and go, well, you know, I've been practicing this week. I might as well get involved in the game. And right down the middle. 3 more for Michigan. Lloyd Carr's got to be happy after the long week. It's a long day, but a happy one. 55-0 Wolverines.
21, 22, 23, 24.
364.
365.
24.
365.
24.
365.
Chevrolet, supporting U.S. Olympians 24/7, 365.
Everybody's got a tip. Everybody's got a sure thing. Everybody's got a cousin who works with some guy who swears that this baby is it. What everybody doesn't have is the kind of financial confidence that makes it easy to ignore what everyone else is saying. Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. Move your money. Get well connected.
For a great car at a great rate, call or click Thrifty.
What do I want the internet to be? I want it to be like Frank here. He really knows customers. Package Frank. Put him together with the internet. Now you've got something. You know, I just want doing e-business with us to be more human.
Today, Nortel Networks is combining the power of the new high-performance internet with the tools your business needs to deliver stronger, more Frank-like e-business solutions.
Come together right now over me.
For a great car at a great rate, call or click Thrifty.
Whoopi Goldberg is back in the habit and giving a group of holy terrors a lesson they'll never forget. Sister Act 2, Sunday 7/6 Central on ABC.
Sure. Yeah, buddy.
The most dangerous job is being an alumni cheerleader because, you know, some of those muscles go after a while. Here's the conclusion of today's game. We'll select the Chevrolet player of the game from each team. That guy's got a chance to be involved. Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each University General Scholarship Fund. That's a good job.
Hey, Brad, that's Richard Kimball, Dick Kimball, who used to be the diving coach here at Michigan.
All right. I thought you were talking about the fugitive there for a second.
The only people running, looking for a crime is they're wearing red today, unfortunately.
That's right. And an turnover here. Michigan's going to take over. On the kick return, a fumble. The Big Ten today, here's the 2 upsets. Minnesota, a winner. I don't know if Purdue's an upset over a Northwestern or not. Now there's something else to cheer about.
Here we're going to take a look at the fumble.
A.C. Carter on the return, and
I don't think that was a
I don't
fumble.
think
His
so
knee
either.
was down.
Yeah, he was down.
Knee was down. It's not going to matter in this game. Dave Perry, the head of the Big Ten officials, is here. I was talking to him on the field before the ball game.
Yeah, I saw him at halftime.
He was telling me that his son was an official in the Big Ten and now has been elevated to the NFL. So he says, I go to his games and I watch the officials. I said, I used to go to the games and watch my son play. Now here you're going to the games and watch. You get nervous for your son. You watch the refs. That's great.
That is. See, old symbol players never die.
They just watch the younger symbol players.
That's right.
They don't watch the game.
2nd down and 4. Straight up the middle, Ryan Beard. Going to be a yard or so shy of the first down. Approaching the 10-minute mark. Again, those Big Ten wins today by Purdue and Minnesota have shaken up the standings, because now Purdue and Minnesota are really the teams to catch, because Northwestern's been beaten by Purdue. Minnesota, a winner today over Ohio State, so they have the tiebreaker edge there.
Wait a minute, Purdue's beaten both Northwestern and Minnesota.
So Purdue should be really on top of that heat.
And Purdue's beaten Michigan. So Purdue should really be, and they have Ohio State on their schedule. So whoever's going to win the Big Ten, whichever one of those teams are going to win, we're going to have to win out.
Michigan knew coming into today that even if they won, and they are winning impressively, that they would stay.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense.
They would stay in the hunt.
Remains 3rd down.
All right, I'm going to continue to try to talk over Dennis Lipsky. And they would stay in the hunt. Not only they stayed in the hunt now, if somebody could pick off Purdue, that would help Michigan's cause. But if Minnesota keeps winning, they would hold the tiebreaker because they hadn't been to the Rose Bowl since 1962. So there's a lot of football left, but it's crazy right now. Here's Beard again, down to the 16-yard line. Michigan has Michigan State next week. Most of you will see that game here on ABC. At Northwestern the first weekend of November. Then Penn State, and then the big one against Ohio State on the 18th.
I would say that Michigan has the toughest schedule of all of the remaining ones, having to go to Northwestern and to Ohio State.
The way they played today, they'd be favored over all those teams, I would think.
That's no question.
33-yard field goal attempt by Epstein, who just hit one from 25 a couple of minutes ago. They try to make it 58-0. And again, he hits it perfectly. So 3 more for the Wolverines. They really didn't need them, but with 8:38 left, they are in command.
Big on taste, but low on cash? Try the new 99-cent BK Cravers menu from Burger King. 8 mouth-watering choices at an unbelievable price. Like the tasty chicken tender sandwich. Or spicy jalapeno poppers. Just 99 cents every day at Burger King, where you can get great tasting food every day. Got the urge?
Hey, did you get them brakes at Pep Boys?
Yeah, I did.
I appreciate it.
Now get up to $40 back on premium Revestis brake service. Pep Boys, one more reason cars like us, people love us.
At BASF, we don't make the floor, we make it tougher. We don't make a lot of the products you buy, we make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF.
The sleek 200 horsepower Chevy Monte Carlo SS. Green. The side you show the world is up to you.
Well, if you're a Michigan fan, you're probably flipping over this score, 58-0, with 8:38 left. The alums are back.
I wonder how old he is.
I don't know, but that's pretty good. A little bit on the landing. We have to take away
I give
points.
him I don't know, about a 7.8.
Yeah. A Hungarian judge gave him.
Watch, because he's going to move. He moves. We didn't show it though, but he moved on the landing. He took us a couple of steps. Hungarian judge.
At the 8-yard line is Graham. Stopped on a dime, but then was dropped at the 14. Michigan thinks they have another fumble recovery on a kick, but they don't. And Indiana will have it, trailing 58-0. College football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Chevrolet. If only everything was as dependable as a Chevy. Chevy will be there. Sears and the Sears National Champion Football Trophy. And Burger King. Got the urge? You close in on this barn out here in beautiful outskirts of Ann Arbor. Go blue. That's a Michigan fan. And boy, have they gone today.
Yes, sir.
58-0. Tommy Jones now in at quarterback. Antoine Randall Day is done, as well as Drew Henson's. Rashawn Miles true freshman out of Dallas. Gets about 5 yards, almost 6, before he's knocked down. So both teams in this situation can use now a lot of their reserve players and a lot of the young guys. Justin Fargas, as a matter of fact, in on the stop, and a converted tailback who came highly touted from the West Coast. They need to get to the 25-yard line to pick up the 1st and 10 presented by Pacific Life.
I like that line. I tell you what, I like it when I can see how far you got to go to get a first down.
Let's see if they get it. Jones pressured from behind, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Graham. That would have been a first down, but it skips off his arms. And that brings up 3rd down and 4.
There's
Jones,
Fargas.
a big kid. You talk about changing quarterbacks and changing sizes. Tommy Jones, 6'4", 243. That's after Antoine Randall, 5'10", about 190.
This kid can play. You know, if Antoine Rondolero was not at IU, this kid would be playing and doing well.
Antoine will have better days before the year's out, you can bet. Jones stands tall, and now he's going to take off. He's not Antoine Randall running, but he gets a first down. Slides his way 9 yards.
Slides? I didn't see a slide in there.
It was a slither slide. Kind of went sideways.
I was kind of looking for it to slide, but he's a big kid.
He sure is. 2 backup quarterbacks almost dead even, really. Jabron Hamden is considered, I guess, the 3rd quarterback on the depth chart, but he actually played as much, if not more, than Jones did last week. And both are big kids, 164, 165. First down carry out to the 32. Rashawn Miles again. Got about 3. John Spytek in on the tackle. And we're down to 7 minutes remaining. Check in with Swanee.
Thank you, Brad. There's a cheerleader for Indiana here who, you know, obviously he's upset his team's not winning, but he's not going to hold a grudge against the University of Michigan. His name is Todd Eager. He's 23 years old, and he came down on June 7th with a blood infection called meningococcal sepsis. Now, to make the long story short, he was dying. There was only one kind of machine that could save him, and there was only one of those machines that was portable, and it was here at the University of Michigan. It was invented by Dr. Robert Bartlett. A team went into Fort Worth, got him on this machine, brought him back to the hospital on the 8th of July. He was on that machine, and the machine basically takes over all the functions of your heart and your lung, and it basically saved his life. He was on this machine for a period of time. Once the organs were strong again, he was taken off. He was unconscious for a week and a half. And then finally, in July 10th, he was finally healthy enough to go home. And this is a young man who gives all thanks to the University of Michigan, who's just this year celebrated 150 years of existence. And the doctors here literally saved his life, and he is grateful to be here cheering for his team this afternoon.
Boy, we're glad Todd's here, too.
That's a great story.
Biggest and really the strongest, they say, of the cheerleaders, because he supported that pyramid formation that you see him in so many times. And he's taking a little breather over there right now because he's not back to completely 100%, but as you saw him bring out the flag at the beginning of the ball game, he's back and pretty healthy, and that is one heartwarming story. One school and one city helping another. A lot like Adam Talaferro and the Ohio State folks when he was injured in that Penn State-Ohio State game. How the Columbus folks took to him. Here's a kick. Calvin Bell waits on it, slips a little bit, and then he's helped down at the 39-yard line. I'll tell you, Marcus Floyd's done a nice job on special teams today. That's his 3rd tackle on punts. 5:44 to go, all Michigan.
The sleek 200 horsepower Chevy Monte Carlo SS. Hot. The side you show the world is up to you. Monte Carlo will be there.
Now this is the fierce snake, the most venomous snake in the world. One bite from him, and it's all over. Yo! Ah! No worries, mate. Luckily, we've had the anti-venom sent from America via FedEx. In my line of work, if you're not absolutely sure, you're absolutely dead. Oh, crikey. It appears we've used a different courier who hasn't arrived yet. It's okay because...
I like new things, especially when they get old.
Like keeping things around? Good news. Introducing Valvoline Max Life, the first motor oil formulated for higher mileage engines. Max Life conditions use seals to help prevent leaks and helps keep your high mileage engine performing for a long, long time.
Son, another 100,000 miles and this baby will be yours.
Winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. Miss America, live tonight at 8, 7 Central on ABC.
Well, Michigan, I don't know if Miss Michigan will win Miss America tonight, but some of these guys on this football team could probably run for office at least the way they played today. 58-0. The Wolverines at home.
You know, but pride goeth before a fall. My wife always told me, you know, Michigan shouldn't stand too tall because there'll be a day when they'll be on the short side of the score like this.
Not so far today.
If you play long enough and often enough, sooner or later you'll be on the other side of one of these.
Well, they were on the short end last week, but that was a game that was all Michigan in the first half, as they've hit 500 total yards now. They gave up 530, though, to Purdue last week, and that's what cost them what would have been first place in the Big Ten. That's where they'd be sitting right now had they not lost that. But I know they're not going to look back at that. They are going to look ahead to what happened today and then to Michigan State next week in a game we'll have for you on ABC. 5-minute mark, 2nd down and 4. There's the long handoff. Ryan Beard got the corner. Tagged out of bounds, got a first down as we check in Times Square Stadium in New York. John Saunders.
Brad, Kansas State was down 38-14, scored the next 10, and then Jeff Ferguson punting here. Drew Hallman comes up with the block. It's picked up by Terrence Newman. Touchdown. Thalman with the block. And 38-31 is the lead with 10 minutes remaining. Stick around, guys.
Oh, man.
Wow.
That one's getting good, huh?
Kansas State, again, special teams, either running punts back, blocking them. I tell you what, that's one thing that Virginia Tech and Kansas State both are great at in special teams.
Coach Beamer is the special teams coach, really, for the Hokies. A lot of that stuff. Beard, another first down run inside the 30 to the 29. So there's that Oklahoma-Kansas State score that John was just talking about. Still a lot of time left in that one. Kansas State, one of the 7 unbeatens in the top 25 going into the day. Clemson was another, and they're scoreless. Ohio State was undefeated. Minnesota took care of that today by a dozen. And Florida rolling. Steve Spurrier put on a happy face a couple of weeks ago, and now they're playing pretty good football. They got a dandy going at the Coliseum. 21-17. As you see the other scores from around the day in college football, Georgia, ever since they lost to South Carolina, have been looking like a very good football team.
South Carolina, one of the real surprises of the season. Lou Holtz doing a great job bringing them back.
Yep, they won today too, beating Arkansas, a former employer of Mr. Holtz.
Yeah.
Purdue over Northwestern, if you missed that, 41-28. So the Wildcats go from the ranks of the unbeaten in the Big Ten. And that's what made this game so important. Texas now by 2 touchdowns on Colorado in the 4th quarter. Texas trying to battle back from being embarrassed last week. There's that South Carolina score that we were talking about. And Wisconsin in the win column for the first time in the Big Ten. A win over Michigan State. Looked like they were going to play for a field goal at the end of that game. And with about 30 seconds left, threw a 45-yard touchdown pass to win. Iowa shut out by Illinois.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, first down.
So still first down after the penalty.
Hey guys, we got 2 numbers.
Reminder, time permitting, stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report with John and Terry, and they'll have all those scores and what it means around college football today for you. And by that time, may have a final on Kansas State and Oklahoma. And the Hard Hats are happy. This kid's been running hard. Ryan Beard, redshirt freshman out of Houston, Texas.
It's good to get some playing time for these young kids. They practice just as hard as the other guys during the week, and this is the fun day. The game day is when you go out and have some fun.
He's got 61 yards on 9 carries. Ryan does. So he is taking advantage of the opportunity.
And these guys enjoy seeing some of the backups and some of their buddies get in there and get some good things done, some yardage and some completions, and get an opportunity to play.
Inside the 30 now. Minery with a handoff. Beard again going wide. He's got 5 or 6 more. Tough looking little back. The Indy racing season concludes tomorrow as ABC Sports travels to Texas Motor Speedway. The Northern Light Cup is still very much on the line. Buddy Lazier, Eddie Cheever, Scott Goodyear, they'll all be battling it out tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 Pacific on ABC. Well, if this one was a race, they would have stopped it as soon as they threw up the flag to start the race. Just about. It's 58-0, and Michigan's about ready to take the checkered flag here with 3:40 left. 3rd down and 4. Straight up the middle. Kirk Mandros, a fullback, and he's close to a first down. And going to be 4th and a couple feet, and this is a tough spot to be in for a coach when it's 58-0 and you got a friend on the other side of the field, but there's nothing you can do about it. You're not going to kicking a field goal looks bad. Going for it on 4th down looks bad. It shouldn't, but it does to a lot of people. And Cam Cameron's going to have better days.
And he understands.
Yeah.
But his team did not come out and play well today at all. Offensively is what they'd hung their hat on all season. Offense didn't play well, turned it over. Special teams got beat for a touchdown. And defensively, they weren't there.
Mandros again, he's got a first down.
I think Cameron's doing a nice job. I think he's got the program where the offense is there now. You've got a quarterback and some receivers and skill players that can get it done. I think now what he needs is some defense. He needs some defensive linemen that can get after the quarterback, and he needs some corners that can cover. To start a defense, you need guys that can rush the passer and guys that can cover on the corners.
He's in his 4th year, and some of the other guys that came in the same year as him have since gone to bowl games. Ron Turner, Glenn Mason, Joe Tiller, and so that puts even more pressure on Cam, and he knows that. But you know, he was here a long time too as an assistant. Michigan assistant coach from the mid-'80s to the early '90s before going on to the Washington Redskins and then coming back as a head coach.
In fact, he was here and recruited Brian, my son, when Brian was a senior in high school. Cam Cameron and Gary Moeller, who was the head coach at the time, came and sat in our Carl Gables home and talked to Brian. And
he's one of the few people you've let in your house.
I talked to Brian about that this morning, and he says, what I remember about Cam coming in, he says he had all those Michigan Big Ten rings on.
Flashing those babies.
And Brian was even kidding him then. He kidded him when he got to Michigan. He says, you thought you could get me by coming in and show me all those Big Ten rings.
Well, something worked. The Michigan quarterbacks, interestingly, all the quarterbacks from Michigan that started at some point or other during the '90s are playing in the National Football League.
Yeah, there's 6 of them.
Including 3 starters and including Bob's son, Brian, that we've been alluding to today. And I think most of you know that Brian's a starter for the Broncos. But Jim Harbaugh is starting right now for San Diego, at least part-time. He's going to start this week.
Elvis.
And Elvis at Kansas City. And this guy will be a starting quarterback in the NFL if he decides he doesn't want to play baseball.
Right.
Jim Harbaugh starting for San Diego. Moses Moreno, we understand, will play. Elvis is in the house at Arrowhead. Todd Collins playing for Kansas City as well as his backup. Brian Griese, the starter for Denver. Scott Dreisbach's with the Raiders. And Tom Brady's with the Patriots. So there's your quarterbacks of the '90s from Michigan. And they're you know, a few years ago, or go back 15, 20 years, you wouldn't say that every Michigan quarterback's going to be in the NFL, you know.
Right.
They'd be out in the business world someplace. But it's changed, and the Big Ten has changed. There's more speed, there's more passing, there's more all of that than there was this time 10 years ago. And it shows, and Michigan has put on a display today with Drew Henson. And now just trying to run this thing down and run out the clock in a game that was all Wolverines on this homecoming in mid-October. So Lloyd Carr, who after that Purdue game was not himself, admittedly, and probably spent less time at his media news conference and his luncheon on Monday than he ever has, didn't have a lot to say, said a few words and said, "There's nothing else we can say. Purdue deserved to win. The play was a reflection of my coaching. We didn't do a good job, and it's not going to be a fun week." And the week leading up to today may not have been fun, but the Saturday afternoon for homecoming certainly was. Final score, Michigan, a big-time winner in a shutout over the Hoosiers of Indiana. The Wolverines win it 58-0 here at Michigan Stadium. We'll be right back.
Know how to spot a die-hard battery owner? Look for their jumper cables. Die-Hard, America's most trusted battery with 30 years of starting power. How much do you trust your battery?
Does peace of mind have a name? Can confidence and trust be summed up in one word? Can innovation really mean security? In 90 manufacturing centers in 27 countries, Goodyear scientists and engineers are working every day to answer those questions and to ensure that your family is riding on the safest, most durable tires we can make. Peace of mind does have a name. It's Goodyear.
21, 22, 23, 24.
364. 365. 24. 7.
365.
24.
7. 365.
Chevrolet, supporting U.S. Olympians 24/7, 365.
Our Chevrolet players of the game: Sherrod Wallace had 9 tackles for Indiana. David Terrell, a couple of touchdowns. Another brilliant day. Final score, 58-0 Michigan, a winner. Stay tuned. John Saunders and Terry Bodden back at Times Square Stadium with a thrifty Carmel post-game report from our ABC stations. For Bob Greasy and Lynn Swan, I'm Brad Nessler. So long from Ann Arbor. Let's go to John in New York.
Home